tell you, me want it. Let me tell you how much that I love you. You found me no search. It's like you knew that inside I was hurting. I was so young, said no chance, but you gave me a shot at a romance. I feel like you were like an angel sent to bring me light. Now that I'm with you, me want say that me love you, that me love you, that me love. Hey, me no go one day wonder. What up, my baby, that me love, that me love. And I dance and sing and I sing because you make my life complete. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I can't believe that this is for me. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah. I can't believe that this is for me. Oh yeah. Chada, 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 chada. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. It's for me. Chada, 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 chada. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. It's for me. I've never felt this way. So when they ask us, say, oh yeah, we're going all the way. Tell me we happy, love you all the time and things. Sometimes I wonder if the thing could cut us under to get under. I know, but your love in my life control that. I laid out my life this way, do anything to make you stay. All of the blessings they come my way, and all the bad things they turn away. Sometimes life is such a scare. Your love gives me the strength to bear.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, so far me. With food in my mouth. Woo, 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 woo. Well, greetings, family. How are y'all doing? I'm still eating on the same sandwich I was eating on earlier. Do not judge me. Come home and spruce it up a little bit. I had some vegan hams. I got the vegan hams and some vegan mayo. And then I got about to eat that. I got to get my paperwork. My kitchen ain't clean. Don't look at it. Yep. You looked at it, didn't you? You probably raised up in your goddamn seat to see it. Come on and finish printing. We're going to get into it and talk about some stuff. Why would this be printing this goddamn slow? You may get you some pen and paper if you like. This must don't know that I really want to bite my sandwich again. Now it's taking forever over there. Want some pickle? Huh? Huh? You want some pickle? Huh? You want some pickle? Huh? Bite it. Huh? Uh-huh. Let's see if it's finished. I don't know why I didn't give me a little bag of chips or something. Probably because I had the soup. Chips is my problem. Chips is my problem. Greetings, family. You want some of the damn pickle? I feel shiny. These are my new specs. I got another pair on the way. It wasn't ready yet, so I didn't get to go pick it up. But another paper printing, god damn it. I thought it was all done. Anyway, so this rising, We did a station head show this rising, and we talked about treasure hunting and how some things can get in your way of you getting your treasure and finding your way to your golden gate. And we brought back up the topic and the subject of um, the golden gate. And we talked about swiper no swiping, as if your treasure map is like Dora the Explorer. You know, Dora the Explorer, she goes through this little map, and there is Swiper. When Swiper comes in and swipes the shit, and you don't get to your end, your treasure. You know what I mean? Because of Swiper. So this rising, we talked about it, and we talked about how sometimes Swiper can come in, excuse me, and swipe your greatness before you even reach the shit on your golden gate, on your map, on your way to your treasure hunt. And what is that? What is Swiper that's swiping your shit? Addictions. Now, please don't be that one to say, oh, that ain't me. Because, bitch, yes, it is. You know how I know? Because let's talk about it. Everything can be an addiction. What is an addiction? Addiction is defined as not having control over doing, taking, or using something to the point where it could cause you harm. Another definition of addiction is a term that means compulsive, psychological, physiological need for and use of habitual forming substances, categorized by tolerance and well defined physiological symptoms upon withdrawal. It has also been used more broadly to refer to compulsive use of substance known by the user. You can be addicted to anything from pornography to being addicted to negative behavior to substances to sex to sleep to weed, alcoholism, cutting, plucking. Plucking, there are people that pluck their hairs because it is an addiction. You can be addicted to laziness, absolutely. And it says physiological, but I say psychological because the shit starts here. Because there are bat signals. There are bat signals. I put up the QR code earlier. And probably about 4 people joined the group me. More people joined the group me for our Melanite family reunion than anybody, and there were many people on the rising, the live this rising, stating they had addictions. That tells me that people don't stand in their truth in this moment, because I had people privately texting me about their addiction, and I referred them back to the group me because that's going to be what is important. Gratitude, Rachel, because that is a true addiction. Plucking is, she says she plucks her eyelashes. It is an addiction. You put it over your phone with the camera and you pull it up. I am going to put it up while we're on that little dollar then fail. I'm going to add it to the group. Let me see. Hold on. I gotta add it. You child hush. All right. So here we go. Let me kick her on out of here. She just came in here like somebody asked her ass to be in here. She's taking it up. Girl, leave the damn. Why is it on here again? Stop fucking harassing me. Oh, all right, there we are. So this is what it looks like. And you can scan it. Um, you can scan it right now. Hold your camera up to it. And when that yellow pop up, you push on that. Mm-hmm. Push on it. Okay. Here's the other one. This is for the family reunion. You got to download the app too, so you'll be added to it. Okay. Now, what's going on, Grisette? I don't know if you can do it from your laptop. I don't know about that. I'm not sure. So just, when you can click back on this or go to one of my social medias, and it's gonna be up in the community page on YouTube. Because I think that's probably the only place I didn't put it. I put it on Facebook and I put it on Instagram, both of those. You can be addicted to anything, bro. You can be addicted to anything. What are the signs of an addiction? General signs of addiction are lack of control or inability to stay away from a substance or behavior, decreased socialization like abandoning commitments or ignoring relationships, ignoring risk factors like sharing needles despite potential consequences. What else is a sign of addiction besides the needles and different things? What else can you be addicted to? You can be addicted to people. Greetings, Bama. You can be addicted to people. And so this also goes for that. So there is a general lack or control or inability to stay away from a toxic person that you know is not good for you. There is something psychological and emotional that's happening. Addictions are real. I am not a physician. Let me put that banner up. I am not a physician. I am not a psychologist. I am not a therapist. I am a life coach, a spirit coach, and a people worker. Okay. And if I have spelled anything wrong, just let a bitch know. We're going to cover all bases here. All right. So even being with people can be an addiction. Lying can be an addiction. Some people don't even know why the fuck they lie. You ever been around someone that is a habitual liar? They don't know why they are lying. They often go and they sit and they think about the lies they have told. And now they can't unlie because they don't want you to know that they're a liar. That's their addiction. But again, these are all symptoms of bat signals. If you are unaware of a bat signals are scarring that has been given to you mentally and emotionally, and they show up in your everyday life where people see them, they recognize them. You may not see or recognize, but they show up in your behavior, in the way you present yourself, in the way you handle certain situations, all of the above. Those are bat signals because they shine up like a bat signal in the sky and people see them. Okay? Why is that on there like that? That's not supposed to be at the end of that. Wait a minute. I don't know why that little... Let me take that off real quick. Okay. There we go. So you may be experiencing bat signals, okay? Let's get into it. So for someone that may be a pill popper, let me give you who I am one more time, just in case you are unaware of who the fuck the governess is, because I tell no lies and I never hide myself because, bitch, for what? You can't never use my past against me because I've been through it. I was there. I don't deny anything. And so let me tell you about me. I grew up in a household full of abuse. I often felt like my mom was weak, but my mom was the sweetest person that I've ever known. And she will whoop your ass. We often got our ass beat. Okay. And we could just be talking about whoopings, or we could be talking about ass beating. Okay. We, growing up, my mother would make us get in the tub, wash up, do not dry off. Your ass whooping happens after you get out of the tub still wet. That is abuse. We often got abused like a motherfucker. And that is the reality of that shit. I grew up with that. There were other shit that was going on. After my mom passed when I was 10 years old. And we moved around with my stepfather, who was abusive, who later on became, I guess, a pedophile, which I don't know if he had already been that or not, because it is in my belief that he probably was already that. Okay. And I say that because he began to molest my sisters. Okay. I have blocked out many memories. I barely can remember things in my childhood, although I can remember all of the fucked up shit. There are many of things that I've blocked out that I cannot remember. And that is psychological and emotional as well. Okay. I went from household to household after my mom passed. Even when my mom was alive, we moved many a times because she couldn't foot all of the bills, because my stepfather was abusive. He was just not abusive to her. He was abusive to people at work. He would fight constantly at work and get fired. And my mother was a CNA and she had to cover all of the bills. My mother mostly worked 2 jobs. And she covered a lot of things because he was often fired. And we could always tell when he got fired because we would have to fill up the tub and we had to fill up containers and we would have to fill up certain shit. And then we would see the big orange motherfucking shit going out the window to the next door to certain things, trying to plug in electricity and having to turn the water off. Everything was filled up in the motherfucking house. and you be getting ready for school, and you would have to warm up water. We often did not have hair grease or gel because that shit was damn near existing. We often had to use Crisco grease in our hair. No lies have been told to you. And so from moving around, even with my stepfather, who became very abusive, neglectful, and immediately moved us in with another woman. My family, as I knew it, went different ways. So from there, I went different ways. I was doing things. I became promiscuous. I ended up moving to Cincinnati, where my life, I started smoking cigarettes at the age of like 14. Then I started smoking weed. I had already dabbled in weed a little bit, so I really heavily became a weed smoker. I have sold pussy. I have sucked dick. I have went to jail. I have stripped. I have dabbled in cocaine, pill popping, smoking cigarettes, smoking weed. I was mentally fucked up. I was emotionally fucked up. And I had to get me the motherfucking together. I had to get me together, and some of the weed smoking you have seen. I was a heavy weed smoker. I've been through a whole bunch of shit, and I came out on top. I plan on continuing to come out on top. You can't use my past against me because I was there for it. I accept it. I see it. I know what it is. Gratitude to the soul and the spirit. It didn't take me down. Therefore, I ended up giving myself over to soul and spirit. I had tried all of the Jesus I could take. I couldn't take no more of that. That didn't feel right. I knew that was some garbage and bullshit. I found my way other ways, and here I am. Even in the midst of understanding who I am and being developed and still developing, you saw me smoke a lot of weed. I've been accused of pill popping. I've been a pill popper. I've done that. Sometimes I have pills and don't take it for a long time. Will I take a pill? Absolutely. Benadryl too. Am I a pill popper? Absolutely not. I've been there. I've had things in my life that I had to overcome. I am a survivor. I am not a victim. I'm a survivor of a whole bunch of shit. I have a very addictive personality. Let's talk about what that is real briefly. Did that one not? Oh, it's over there. Hold on. Let me grab it. Quatita does not hide from you, and I'm not going to lie to you, because what you going to do? You going to whip my ass for being who I am? Absolutely not. I think not. I think not. Excuse me. Why do I have an addictive personality? Research has discovered a link between genetics and someone's ability to have an addictive personality. Those born to parents who have been addicted to a substance or exhibited a behavioral addiction are more likely to exhibit addictive personalities. My mom was addicted to a motherfucker that was whooping her ass. And was. She was able to kick cigarettes. She was able to stop smoking weed. She did all that shit, but like by the time I was maybe 1. But she was addicted to the nigga in her life who she married, and shortly after she married, months after she married, my mom died. Mysteriously from an illness that was 1 in a million. There could be that could be traced and looked at as other shit if not looked at carefully. You can be addicted to a whole bunch of shit. But I need you to understand that every addiction comes from a bad signal. Scarring, mentally and psychologically, emotionally, you're damaged, but can be healed. I still suffer from food addictions, see? And I battle with myself in the mirror. I am human in this experience. I may know who I am soulfully and spiritually, but that's not what I see when I see me. That's not the memories that I still carry with me. I don't carry the memories from the cosmos. I carry the memories from this eon. I carry the DNA from this eon, which carries the ancestors, which carry the bad signals that's passed down generational, which carries a whole bunch of other shit. And we pass that shit along to our children. And we don't even realize we're giving them bad signals. But I saw it in my children. This is what it is. They can tell you that it's from your parents, but honestly, the parent, that when they say it's passed down, they mean in the blood, it's generational, because that's where you came from. But it's also psychological. Let's talk about it. So, a lot of the things are coping mechanisms. I want you to think back. Who are the, let's go here first. Who are the weed smokers? And if you don't want to put your hand up, you ain't got to, but let's call a thing a thing. Okay. Because I want to just look at it. Let's just look at it. You could just put a pinky up if you want to. So let's talk about it. Okay, let's see. The first person I saw. Let's go to the first person. I don't want anybody to feel like I'm calling. It's a whole bunch of motherfuckers. Okay, let's see. Adrian Antonio. You see the pinky is waving. So tell me, what was your first reasoning of smoking? What brought you to smoking? It's unfair, but it's the truth. And it's because your people were unhealed. That's why it must stop here. So you don't keep passing the burden along down the line, because without even the generational in the blood DNA shit, you pass it along because your children see you smoking. They want to know what that is because it makes you calmer. You go from the howling wolf to the laughing hyena sometimes. So it puts you in a space they want to know about. Okay. You see, I was introduced to it by my aunt. And seeing my family doing it. I used to pretend I was doing it. Same. My mom used to actually buy me the little play cigarettes. My mom used to buy them for me. I grew up at the age of 14. I started smoking cigarettes. Certain things are embedded. That don't mean you can't get rid of it. So out of all of the people, Adrian said he started smoking because he saw some people. Anybody felt pressured to do it? Anybody did it because They wanted to escape. They were just looking for something else to do. Because it's a whole bunch of reasons why people smoke weed and cigarettes. Said your aunt used to buy them for you too. When they would ask us to light the squares, we would and pull off them. Choked to death. Yes, yes, yes. Said I did it because my boyfriend was. I did because I felt pressured. Smoking weed makes me paranoid. It definitely can and definitely does. Subconsciously, I like the smell. It was my escape from reality. A lot of these are what I told you. It is mental and emotional, psychological bad signals. Because if it was a healthy environment, it can't be every time. It ain't gonna be every time because you may have grown up with people who never smoked weed or cigarettes, never done a drug, but there was other things there. They come from bad signals and not being healed mentally. Now, some people feel like they come from good homes, and some of them do, but there were other things. When I say other things, some people started smoking because they thought they had the perfect family. They grew up with a great family and realized their father was a fucking cheater. Is my daddy here? Yo, daddy. Yeah, that happens a lot. Found out that your mom was a cheater. You felt like you had a good family, mom and dad. Mama was a nurse. Daddy was a contractor, owned his own shit. And mama act like she couldn't stand you. There are multiple reasons why people start addictions. And they don't know it. So they don't know how to heal it, to get rid of the addiction. Some people come from great 2-family homes. Like I said, the same scenario. They don't smoke. You ain't never picked up weed. You don't drink. But you chase after the niggas. Your friends be like, but you know he got other bitches. But he take care of me though. I just be telling him, don't bring all that shit over here. You're addicted. Like you have to be with somebody. And when you put your eye on it, it becomes an addiction. It becomes tunnel vision. You gonna get this nigga no matter what. You know you're getting played. You know you're getting walked over. But something in your psychological mind frame is pushing bad signals, and you don't understand why. You don't even want to admit it. You don't even want to admit that you know that this motherfucker is not good for you. You knew he had a person. You knew she had a person when you met them. Something in you wanted to be good enough for that person to look at you in that same way because you wanted them. And by all means, you would have them no matter what. And be the first one to say, I'm a good motherfucker, until you wasn't, because you didn't care about destroying the household. Fuck his behavior. We're talking about you as a person. That's addictive thinking. It becomes narcissistic. Because you want what you want, you're going for it. Some people drink every day. And again, this is a judge-free zone. I'm just going to speak the truth to you because I need you to heal the bat signals. Some people drink every day. And we ain't talking about hard liquor, we're talking about beer. Some people will grab a 12-pack, 24-pack, get off work. The beer has been calling them all day. I, not being funny, I absolutely fucking mean that, because there's, when they say a monkey on your back, that's the term that they use, because there's a reason why they call it spirits. There is an energy that has been riding you all day. You mad you missed your break because you was just going to go to the store and down you a cold one real quick. You just want a cold one real quick. You're not drinking just because you like beer. You're not drinking because Hennessy is your favorite drink. You're drinking it because you were programmed to do so. It became an addiction. And when you drink, the bad signals come up and you become addicted to those thoughts. You hear your mom and shit in there. You 41 years old and you live with your parent, your mom. One, because you either got to help her or she's helping you. And because of that, this is how you're coping. Because it don't even make you forget it, because honestly, that's what brings it up. Now you're in there stirring the pot, riding the pony around and round on a carousel about how you used to, how you were going to, how you still want to. But then you start to also think about that dog that's been on your back all day, and you know it. You begin to tell yourself you're done with it after this shit, after this bottle. Fuck that. I'm going to get back in the studio. I ain't drinking shit else. It goes from that. You look over, you see your bottle is almost gone. I don't give a fuck if it's Coke. You see, you only got a few more lines left. You cut those lines down to bumps. You was hitting big lines at first. Those lines broke down to bumps because you looked over and you saw it was almost gone. You had already told yourself 10 minutes prior you was done with it. This was your last pack. Even after you just said it, your mind went to, do you have some hidden around your house somewhere? Immediately it went to, maybe I'll stop this weekend. I do have somewhere I am going over to, I was going to. It's riding your back before you're even done. It becomes a fear. Oh my God, I don't have any more. This is going to be gone. I have to live up to what I said. Thank God I didn't say it to nobody else, just me. So can't nobody hold me accountable, because you know when you said it to your sister, soon as she said, I thought you said, you cussed her the fuck out and told her to mind her fucking business. You don't talk about her and her baby daddy. It is psychological because of some bad signal that is showing up in your life. I don't give a fuck if the bad signal is you were talked about and made fun of because you felt too dark skinned. It all comes from somewhere because you're unhappy. You become unmotivated. A lot of people that I see that are heavy drinkers, whether that's alcohol or liquor or beer, they're content in the life that they have created until they start to drink. Meaning, they get up every day for work. Do you know how many people? I'm going to just go right back to beer. We could say liquor, but do you know how many alcoholics get up for work every motherfucking day and don't miss a beat? Because they understand they have to pay for that. They're constantly calculating the money and what can be spent. Let's throw in cigarettes too. Because if they drinking, sometimes they smoking cigarettes. Not every time, but a lot of the times. You begin to calculate to make sure that you can get the cigarettes, the beer. It's all right if you can't find your lighter as long as your stove works. You get to these products, these things, these people, the situation, and it's a quick fix, and it ain't even that. It's abuse of self because of the psychological and emotional damage that has been done to you. Do you understand me? It is not a fix. It's not even a quick fix. It is abuse of self. Because for some people who've experienced a multitude of abuse, they're not satisfied until they find more chaos. So they create chaos. It's a true statement. Like I said, this rising, sometimes they walk around with the I wish a nigga would mentality. When we're even just speaking about people that are addicted to negativity, like a couple that you don't want to be around because all the fuck they do is argue and fight. They're addicted to it. They can be out having a good time, arguing still, see a positive couple, and will trauma bond with each other about how fucked up that shit is. Them motherfuckers ain't in love for real. Right. Fuck that bitch. Then why you looking at her like that? What you mean? Fuck what you talking about? Yeah, them motherfuckers, but you know they ain't in love. Oh, that shit ain't real. It's not real to you because you're addicted. Because if you're having a good day, people will find a reason for negativity and chaos. You don't even know why you want to disturb his day. He's been having a great day. You don't even know why you do something that you know is about to cause an argument. Because how dare he be happy? This shit is real. You don't even know how to fuck, but you can't let it go because it's feeding that negativity that you're used to because it feels normal. You don't want nobody to say nothing about it. You don't want nobody to talk you out of the relationship. If you left that relationship unhealed, you'll find the same relationship in someone else. Again, because you are unhealed, you have psychological and emotional scarring. The shit goes back to even just, like I said, watching your parents fight. You can be watching your parents argue and fight. And in your room now you went from being a kid holding your ears to turning the music up real loud. One day you just get it in you and you just get out there and you open up the door and they hear a side of you they ain't never heard before. I'm sick of you motherfuckers. Why don't y'all just leave each other? They looking at you like, who the fuck you talking to? I'm sick of y'all. I'm getting my shit. I'm leaving. You go to Keisha's house for a day or two or a few hours until your mama call you and tell you bring your motherfucking ass home. You now are on a countdown of when I become grown. You could be 14 on a countdown of when I become grown. And all you want to do is be a cheerleader that y'all didn't never have money for because for whatever reason, you always thought we ain't never got money for what I want, but they keep drinking and smoking every weekend. But they ain't never got money. I wanted to go to cheer camp. I wanted to go to summer camp. I wanted to be a cheerleader, but you told me we didn't have the money for the outfits or for tryout, and it was only $75. But you can drink and smoke every fucking weekend. And then y'all arguing, we got to sit in here and fight. Y'all go out, and I got to watch the three little ones. Now, see, this is a countdown for you now. What happens is, the freedom, you go. I don't care if you run away. I don't care if you go. Your mama finally said you can go to the skating party that you actually never go to because you and Keisha went to Roderick's house because he was having a party. And it's all of the motherfucking Q dogs and college guys and niggas from the neighborhood that you saw that they all sell fucking dope. And now you want to be cool. So now you got your red cup and you smoking a joint like you've used to smoking and ain't never smoked a day in your life. You want it to look this way because, see, this is psychological scarring. So then what happens? The bat signal shows itself because Minos over here knows fucking well that a 14-year-old girl who is okay here would not be here with a half top and a skirt on, drinking and smoking at 14. Got him. So now you find yourself in a situation with somebody who feels like freedom to you. Inside of that freedom comes more psychological damage because he's older and he's playing on the bat signals he already knew that you had. And he's keeping you with weed because now you like it, you know. Every time he pulled up on you, he had one. You didn't even care to smoke until he kept pulling up and you liked the high because it puts you in a state. He makes you feel pretty when you didn't know if you was pretty because your parents never took time because they were too busy arguing and fighting. Nobody else told you because you barely had money for a perm and shit. Nobody told you how to care for your natural hair. So you didn't know what pretty looked like because it ain't on TV. So now you got Minos who's making you feel pretty, but now he's mind fucking you at the same time. He's feeding you the weed. And now he lays the good pipe down with the good head down. You ain't never experienced that because, see, you think this is love. And the chaos and the mind fuck, you think that's natural and normal because you didn't see your parents in it. Now he's ghosting you, but you've become addicted to that. You got addicted to feeling like somebody saw you. You got addicted to just feeling like you had freedom because he's freedom to you. You understand what I'm saying to you? The same can be said for a male who has gotten in touch with Keisha with the ultimate pussy. He ain't never had like that before in his life. See, he was with Tanya. They grew up together. And she was his first and he was her first. And it was a whole love and basketball type shit until he met Keisha with the ultimate pussy. You understand what I'm saying? And he ain't never, she done told him like, you can get money, nigga. What you doing? She done showed him how to hustle. Now he's addicted to Keisha, the ultimate pussy, and the money. She is psychologically fucking the shit out of him. Because she already done read him. She know what kind of nigga he is. She knew that before she walked up on him. He's now addicted. He done found out Tanya good, wholesome ass is pregnant. He don't want nothing to do with that because he over here with Keisha, the ultimate pussy, the money, the psychological fucking, and her 3 kids that he babysitting. This is real shit. You become addicted to the shit because you don't really know what love look like. You don't know the feeling of bliss. All you know is settling for whatever is going to make you feel something in that moment, in that space, in that time frame, and that high you get. Because that's what's happening. You get a high from those people. It makes you feel something when you were unsure of what you were feeling already. You get addicted to a whole bunch of shit. I want you to reclaim your mind. I want you to reclaim your emotions. In order for you to do that, you have to look at the bat signals and where the shit comes from, the toxicity. You may feel you need an apology, although you may never get it. You have to decide to live or to die. When you are enacting inside of this sort of behavior of addiction, you can die. And some people think that's the way out. It is not. Because when they loop your ass back, you don't know what other toxicity you're being born into. You can be addicted to food. I was almost 300 fucking pounds before my surgery. I went from being 170 pounds to being 180 pounds, dropping down to 159, coming back up to 200. Shit, 220. Goddamn, wait a minute. 289. What? What happened? What happened there? I don't know. Because I feel small until I look in the mirror. Until I look back at old videos and I be like, bitch, you didn't even have a neck. What happened in that reason why you allowed the food in? Because there's always a situation, an incident that has brought you to the food. It may just simply be you feel unlovable because every relationship was fucked up. And so now instead of you having a woman or man in your bed, you have food and snacks. It's an addiction. You will cuss somebody the fuck out in your house about who the fuck been in my cookies in my motherfucking room. Your hair is sharp and laid to the gods. You go to motherfucking Miss Kim every fucking week and get your little curls bumped at your little piece that stick up like this and the other piece that's like this, and that shit is laid. And you laid in your fucking bed with packs of cookies and chips and plates, and you didn't stop at Popeyes. And you're angry because of the psychological damage that was done, even if we're just tracing it to the relationships. You don't know how to cope. That's your coping mechanism. You don't even want to look at it. You're not trying to heal. You just want another relationship. Where's somebody to love me? Marco, bring me that pack of cookies. And you in there just angry watching a whole bunch of Bachelor and a whole bunch of other shit. You done talked about people. You're becoming more and more mean with people. It's because you're unhappy. You're damaged, but can be healed. I don't want to say broken because a lot of times shit that's broke can't be put back together, but you can. Some damage you can heal and you can wipe it off, and it's just bruised a little bit. I can still make an apple pie with that. That's still good for lemon meringue. It just got a little black something on it. That lemon do. People think alcohol make them more lively. You think it makes you the life of the party? I'm at my best. I had a friend tell me I drive better when I'm drinking. Now, for real, I'm more cool. I'm more mellow when I'm drinking. Nobody have ever told you that. That's just what you thought. People just ain't really told you that you're obnoxious and you keep repeating shit. And they know, we know. Yeah. Hey, for real, word, for real though. Hey, D-Lo, you remember, we just talked about this shit, I know. Hey, but that shit was crazy. Like, you're obnoxious as fuck. And people just have not told you. Because you keep repeating the same shit. You hitting people all hard. You're the loudest one. People are actually talking about real shit, and you are obnoxious. Nobody's told you that. You don't know that because you think it makes you great. That's what you have convinced yourself of. Just so you can continue to drink. It's an addiction because of you being damaged, scarred, psychologically and emotionally. What we need to do is trace back and find where the core is. Let's look at where the core is, please. Let's find your core. Let's only go to 7 years old. I want you to tell me what you can remember of 7. What can you remember of 7? Because, see, it's an addiction. I'm going to drop the link. Please feel free. We're going to look at some shit. You're not going to stay up here with me. We're going to look at some things, and we'll go through it, and hopefully yours will help a few other people. Because is there natural recovery that occurs without treatment or support groups? When people recognize the cost of their addiction exceeds the benefits and corrects this, they become the heroes of addiction recovery. We don't hear about these folks too often, but they exist. Reason why I started the GroupMe is because if you understand that you're not alone, you can talk to people that may be dealing. That's why they have support groups. When you see people go to AA meetings, they don't go to sex addiction meetings. They go to Alcoholic Anonymous because people who also drink understand. My GroupMe is for addiction, period. Whether you may not be addicted to Tyrone's great penis, but you may be addicted to drinking. A lot of people would be like, shit, I don't fuck with her, but you're addicted still. They want to say one is better than the other. It is not. An addiction is a fucking addiction. I've put up a Zoom link that can be used at any time by anyone. All you have to do is click on it, get your people together and say, hey, come on in here. Quatita has put this link in here and we're going to do a meeting. Anybody up for a meeting? Let's just talk. We don't need to have no forum. We just going to talk. So we ain't got to keep typing. We can come in here and we can have an open talk and a discussion. That's in that GroupMe at the top. It gives you the policy and the disclaimer of the group. And then it also gives you the link up under it where you can click on that and you can put your group together and have a Zoom in there. It's on my Zoom. The videos will come to me. So if there's an issue, I can look at it. I can see what was done and said. It's on my Zoom that I pay for. So you ain't even got to worry about paying for it. If you go in to set it up and ain't doing right, hit me up. Quatita, the Zoom ain't acting right. Can you help us? I'm going to come in there and help you set the thing up. I don't want to be no excuses as to why we can't get together and help. You definitely don't need me in it if you just have a group of 3 of y'all. Because see, it's only 4 people in the group. Nobody else came, and it was over 300 people this rising. Nobody even came. 4 people came. That means that you are afraid of something. I don't want you to be afraid. I want you to be accountable for your healing. I want to know. I want you to tell you, tell me, tell you where you feel like your core came in at. Core don't just have one core. It has several embedded cores. Greetings.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. I just wanted to say gratitude. I found you tonight. Well, I've been watching you for a while, but I caught this segment and it was important to me because I just made a bunch of lifestyle changes. So I just quit. Weed was my thing. I just quit smoking. But you talked about like traumas in relationships, traumas in parenting, and it just really hit home for me. There were times where I was that person that hopped out of one bad relationship and I was going into another, and I literally got the same person, just a younger version. So now I'm 30. I'm at an age where, well, as soon as I turned 30, I just felt different. This was the first year that I actually felt different. I just knew like I had to save my life. I had to do things to change my life. I have 2 children, 2 younger children. And the things you were saying, even with food, like I fell into that trap. I lost like 2 of my loved ones, and they were very important to me. And it just affected me. I pushed everybody away and I grabbed food. I gained a bunch of weight, but it's okay. Now I'm making those strides to change. But I just, for me, I like when you said what happened to you at 7, it just hit home. Like I was abused at 7. I went through, my mom and her relationship, seeing her be, physically abused and things of that nature and things like that. But for me, the hardest thing has been to let go. Like, I'm going to be honest. I was getting ready to look for a piece of weed that I just had laying around. And I hopped on YouTube and you were live. That's why I said gratitude. Because you saved me just now, or this saved me, because I was getting ready to go backwards. I just stopped smoking yesterday. So again, but I'm trying. I really am trying to do something different.
So let me ask you this. So you was gonna look for the weed, because I've done that, putting cotties together to form a whole joint. I know it. So what was the reason? What were you mentally? What was happening when you wanted to find it?
I was bored. I didn't have nothing to do. And I was getting ready for bed. That's just been my routine. That was my addiction. I smoke to go to sleep, smoke when I get up, smoke when I eat after I eat. I don't want to do that anymore. It's taking me away from my kids. It's taking me away from my life. I'm not living a quality of life because, truth be told, now I'm paranoid. I don't want to leave. I don't want to go outside. I don't want to do these things because I've been literally smoking since I may have been 13, 14 years old. Not consistently, but just in my system. When you talked about the guy, the relationship, this man literally fed me weed from the time I was 18, 19 years old to last week. And I'm 30 and he's 43 and he has an addiction. But I saw that his is alcohol and ecstasy. And I saw it. And it was just like, I kept hearing just a voice say, if you break the addiction, you'll break this connection between y'all two. So I've been fighting to break this addiction and these addictions and these feelings and just deal with my pain and everything versus, like you say, using it as a coping mechanism or running from my feelings and problems.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what is something that it is that you really want to accomplish right now?
I want to be free. And free, when I say free, I want to be free from extra things. Like I want to be okay with whatever I'm feeling. I want to be able to express myself. I don't want to run or push people away because I can't articulate what I'm saying. And I just want to be more sociable. Like I want to meet people. I want to make friends. Like I literally have kept myself in friendships or relationships where weed has kept us together. And I don't want to do that no more. I really want to meet great and genuine people. I want to be great and genuine.
I promise if you give yourself some time without smoking, you will forget why you was ever smoking. You will start to think like, damn, why was I even smoking? I feel so good. My mind feels clear. I feel abundant. Instead of reaching for the weed at night, I would suggest this. Whatever it is you're wanting to accomplish, grab your phone for about 20 minutes and start looking up different things that you feel like is freedom.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I used to research bikini competitions because I wanted weight loss so bad.
Okay.
So I would say do that until you're tired, because sometimes I'll be looking at my phone. I keep dropping the fucking phone. So just see how that works for you.
Okay, I will.
Gratitude. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you too. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yes. That was very brave of her, and I show gratitude. I'm going to put it back in the chat again just one more time, because sometimes we can be addicted to feeling bad for ourselves, and so that's a deep one to come out of, feeling bad for yourself. And that's just because you can't think of what would be good, because you have not physically or mentally experienced what you perceive as good. But you have to know it's out there. And you can be looking at something and be like, man, I ain't gonna never. You have to get rid of I ain't gonna never. You got to get rid of I don't have enough money. You have to get rid of all of these things so you can see what the fuck is really happening. So you can see what's really going on. So you can look at it all. Don't be deceived by your own lower frequency, that lower energy that creeps in. Don't be deceived by that, because it can deceive the fuck out of you. No lie. No lie. Anybody else? Where did your core come in at? Let's look at how to get rid of it. Let's look at how to get rid of it. Attention seeking can be an addiction. Attention seeking can be an addiction. It's always something. Hey, Kay.
Hey.
Kay.
I had to turn the live off so I could hear you.
Okay, how are you?
Governor?
I'm
doing
good.
fine. So,
So what you got going on?
so I'm on here because I had a little breakdown today, and it's just crazy that every time I get in these moods, you hop on the YouTube and you do a live where you get on station and it seems like it's always a message or it's always something I need to hear. And this really hit home, like some of the things you were saying about addictions. And I feel like a few things I've went through in my life, um, you know, kind of caused a lot of things that's going on in my adult life.
Mm.
You said, if I can tell you something about when we were 7. Originally, when I was living with my grandma, my mom was in the army and my dad was in the army. So I was staying with my grandma for like the first couple of years of my life. Met my mom again, like we reunited back when I was like, I want to say 2. I think that's what my grandma said. But I was still with my grandma when my mom would go to work and things like that. My mom had my brother. We moved out of my grandma's house and we moved into our own little place. She had my brother. Things went on there. It's things I remember there that, I feel like, like one thing I remember one day I had walked out into my hallway to tell my mom I was having a bad dream and I seen her with a woman. At that point, I didn't know what was going on. In my mind, I'm just, I'm having a bad dream, but that's a memory that I still remember to this day, even though that was something that, I wasn't thinking of at that time. Then I've always had like, other children. I don't know what they were going through, but I was always introduced to things. Like I never went and looked for it. I was always introduced, like the little girl upstairs, she told me what a condom was. She showed me what a condom was, and my mom was trying to figure out where I knew it from because we was watching an episode on Living Single when Max found a condom on the bed. And I was like, is that a condom? She's like, how do you know that? There's little things like that.
Mm-hmm.
We moved from Toledo and we moved to Columbus, Ohio, and I've been in Columbus, Ohio till this day. When we moved to Columbus, the reason why we moved to Columbus is because my mom's best friend, she's from Toledo too. My mom followed her here. My I call her my auntie. They're like best friends. My auntie don't even stay here. She moved. She moved to Michigan. Now she lives in North Carolina. But my mom, she's always stayed here. I don't have no family here. All my family's in Toledo. So it's just me, my mom, my brother. I grew up with my mom's best friend and her kids. I call my play cousins. We always got in a lot of trouble. I've always been having, like, if you would call it, like the middle child syndrome. Because my oldest cousin, she's older than me, and then her sister's like a couple years younger than me. So I'm like the middle child. I'm always getting in trouble for things, getting blamed for things. I'm not gonna say that I was innocent. I always did things too.
Yeah.
But like certain things that I knew better not to do, I'm still getting blamed for them. When I was about 10, my mom had this coworker. She had babysit us. I guess she got fired from the job and she started this babysitting thing. I was going to this babysitter and her boyfriend, basically, he was molesting me from the age of 10 to 13.
Mm.
I think that point is where the whole dynamic in me changed. I started being more promiscuous. I started being, a little bit more fast. I mean, I still had common sense, but going through different things. My mom ended up losing her job and we ended up becoming homeless. So from the age of 13 to 16, we're homeless. We're staying in shelters. Like I said, I have a little brother who's 7 years younger than me. So, it's not like I can really talk to him about anything. It's not like I can really, hang out with him or anything like that. I feel like I never met my dad.
Let me ask you something. Let me ask you this. Because you said that you had experienced the molestation and then you said you became promiscuous. What was the first sexual encounter that you willingly had, and like why did you have it?
The first sexual encounter willingly, let's see. I would say at the babysitter's house, it was a time where it was me and other little girls. We were like in the bathroom, and they were doing stuff to each other, and I was right along with them, just experimenting with them. And that was when I was a child. It's also
you do understand
before,
that's not really being fast. That's you experimenting in what you remembered.
Right.
Right. Okay. So then come up some, and you're
okay.
more,
So, well, where I was going with this is that, so, okay. So like I said, my mom, and my dad was both in the Army. I've never like physically met my dad. I only met him one time. And the one time that I met him, like, don't get me wrong, I've kept in contact with him. I called, he called me on the phone. He sent me things and gifts and stuff like that. And I think this is the real core that changed the whole course of me. When my mom told him that I was being molested, because my mom didn't know for a long time until another little girl's mom was calling parents and letting them know what happened to her daughter. And my mom asked me, and I told her no, because I was scared until we had to go to children's services and I told what happened. And then, my mom was angry. Know that we never went to counseling for it. It was one of those things like, okay, that happened. We talk about it and let's move on. The next day was like another day. But anyway, so when it came down to telling my dad, that's when my dad finally came to see me for the first time. Came to see me for the first time. We really didn't talk about anything. We didn't really talk about the situation. All he basically did was come, took me out to eat, asked me how school was, normal conversation. And then after that, I didn't talk to him. So between that time and the next time I talked to my dad, we had moved, we went through the shelter, all that stuff. Now at this point, I'm 13, about to be 14. I'm at this point where now, I'm starting to run away. And I know where I got that idea from, because another girl that I knew in the neighborhood, she used to run away. And that's where I knew where I got that idea from. But the last time I talked to him, I told him I didn't want to talk to him no more, because when my mom was telling him that, the issues we were going through, because my mom, she's very, now that I'm older and I realize my mom was always a lesbian. She was always like the stud type.
Mm-hmm.
So she always like tries to be the man. And ever since my mom knew that I've been molested, like any guy that tried to talk to me or anything, because I had a nice shape as a young girl. So any guy that looks at me or talks to my mom, staring them down, she looking at them, and she's on that, as she should.
Mm-hmm.
But it got to a point where it got abusive. Like, any little thing I do, she's on me. It's like she was mad at me. That's how I was feeling.
Yes.
Like she was mad at me for getting molested or anything, or just mad at the fact that she didn't protect her child. Now that I'm older and I look back at it, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like she didn't protect her child, so now she's taking it out on me. But my thing is that when I reached out for my dad, because what I really wanted my mom to send me to my dad. Like, maybe I need a change of scenery. My dad was like, "Oh, send her to boot camp." And it felt like, that he pushed me away, like he pushed me out. So I'm like, I don't want to ever talk to you again. And I got tired. I didn't want to be in the environment no more. So I started running away. 13, 14, 15. And, I'm 33 now. And when sometimes I'll be sitting back and looking back and just be analyzing the situation. Like me and my brother, we don't really have a good relationship, because all those times I ran away, he was alone. He didn't have nobody.
Yes.
To talk to. He didn't have nobody, to have his back. And I'm very protective of my brother. Like anybody could tell you that, because it's only me and him. Even though he got 4 or 5 other siblings with his daddy, because we got 2 different dads, it's me and him I grew up with,
Mm-hmm.
So we have our issues with that. Me and my mom, we have our issues. Like we just had a situation, because now I'm married now, but I'm married to a woman. And it's like my mom has an issue with that. And it's like, how can you have an issue with that when all my life you've been with women? Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like, because I also have kids too. I have 3 kids. They all by the same man. That's before I got with her, my wife. So sometimes I'll be feeling like my mom be jealous of me sometimes, and not so because of, you know, what I have, but it's like, how can I explain it? As if maybe, I don't know, it's like they be wanting me to fail sometimes. It's like they don't be expecting me to be great. And it's like, why can't, you know what I'm saying? I chose the reason why I work so hard. It's been time I work 3-4 jobs. You know, I'll be stressing myself out. Like I said, I was stressed. When I first came on here, when I said I was crying because I'd be so stressed. And I was telling my wife, like, I want to quit my job. Like, I just put in the notification to take my kids out of school so they can homeschool. And I got all that pressure. Like, how am I do that? You know what I mean? So, you know, it just be a lot. And a lot of times I just feel like, how can I get over these little things? Like, I've got over, it took me a long time to get over the molestation, the daddy not being there thing. Like, it took me a very long time to get over that. Now it's like I'm in situations where, you know, it's kind of rocky with me and my wife, because where I've been with my kid's father for a long time, like, he was my high school sweetheart, and, you know, we got situations going on, and, you know, things going on that we haven't healed from. And I've tried to have that conversation so I can give him his healing and he can give me my healing, but it seems like it's only one ended. Like, I gave him his healing and he don't see where he's messed up at. And now it's affected my relationship, because it's like, where I've been with him so long, he's molded me to a certain person. I'm bringing that into my marriage. And it's like, she doesn't deserve that. I do have a problem with lying. I do have a problem with being sneaky.
Where does it come from?
I feel like that comes from my childhood, because when I used to tell my mom the truth, I used to get in trouble because everybody thinks I'm lying. Like, I specifically remember one time where I was outside and the kids had broke this lady's window and they all blamed it on me, and I got my ass whooped for it. And I was so mad, because, like, you be telling me to tell you the truth, but even when I tell you the truth, you're still whooping my ass.
Understood.
So now it's like, I'll be scared to say. And then sometimes I'll be brutal, but sometimes I'm working on thinking before I say
look,
stuff.
I want you to look at it like this, because I'm when you say that, what I keep seeing is my daughter, and I used to do that because her father was such a liar that I would always accuse her of lying. You know, so then she would lie. You know what I mean? So because that's what you were experiencing, you know what I'm saying? So now you do lie, but there is also something that says you're not trusting the woman that you're with that she would see you genuinely. So you're making yourself into something else.
Right. Well, that's the thing I'm fighting every day. Like, you know, I know she has her trust issues, which she has every right to be, because there has been discrepancies where I haven't been honest and I have lied. But I've also given that right. Like, you know, at the same time, we could talk about these things, but we can't keep bringing it back, because at the end of the day, you have to make your decision if you want to decide to be with me or not. And that's something I need to work on, because if I love her, like I say I do, you know, I have to work on myself and try to change these things, so to make you know, our situation better. So, you know,
what's
I'm
the
definitely
excuse that you give when you start to go into the lies? Well, in your mind, you have to give something, and you have to give yourself an excuse before you start lying. So what is the excuse you give as the reason why you're going to lie?
No, that's a good question. I don't even know. Sometimes I just feel like, just to avoid confrontation, and sometimes I'll just be over things. And sometimes I just, you know, I'm comfortable. I get comfortable, I lie, and then I feel like, okay, I'm gonna get away with this lie. And I feel like I can do what I can get away with.
What does that mean? What does that mean, Kay? You get comfortable. You get comfortable like what? What do you mean when you say that? You get comfortable?
I guess it's hard to explain.
But that's why I want you to do it, because you have to see exactly why you're showing up. You know what the bat signals are. You understand where the scarring is. Now, where's the
I guess
accountability?
it's more so because I don't like to hurt feelings. Because I be feeling some type of way, and then sometimes I have to check myself because like, you know, I have to look at myself like, well, why? And I just had this conversation with my wife too. Like sometimes I have to look at myself like, you know, I can't be selfish. Like I can't be expecting something from somebody else and then I'm not giving that too. Like I gotta look at myself and see what I'm showing up with, and can't expect her to show up to me the same way, you know, or show up to me differently than how, you know. So that's why, you know,
That's why I
I
want
really.
you to find the reason. Like, you talk very well. I hear you. You talk very well. But inside of that, you're saying everything you should say. But I don't know if you're actually looking at it and making yourself accountable to the addictions in which you're playing into. Because you talk very well. And you said you were comfortable, and so you just lie. You don't know, but you do know why you lie, because anyone that tells a lie, you think about the lie before you tell it.
True.
So you have to look at it so you can figure out where it's coming from, where you're going wrong, when you're going into it. How do you stop doing it? Why are you doing it? Like, what is making you feel like you need to?
I guess I'd be scared.
Of what?
I don't know. I would
But
say I'm hurting feelings, and well, we've been in abusive times before, and you know, sometimes I feel like sometimes if I be honest, I feel like it's gonna cause an argument, and sometimes I feel like it's gonna be deeper. It's gonna be more than the argument.
I
Because
used
when
to
me and
tell
her
my
fight, like
daughter,
it's really bad. It's like really, really bad. Like
but you're addicted to that. This is what I want you to see. You're addicted to that. You know, if you lie, she's going to hit the ceiling. You're doing it on purpose. You're addicted to it all. You can tell the truth, you don't want to, because you're addicted to it. You're addicted to the situation, and it's chaotic, and it makes you feel some sort of normalcy, because you don't know, like, why can't it be a positive relationship? Why won't you just tell the truth?
it started off that way.
Who changed it?
Um, if I could think, I guess I would say I would change. Well, I guess I changed it for the simple fact that I didn't give myself enough time to heal from being with my baby dad. I just jumped in a relationship with her, and then once I got my kids back, it's like I had to change. Like, okay, the playing house is over. It's time to get on my game, and it's like kind of like we just kind of like felt I couldn't be without her. She got sick, and then I felt like, you know what I'm saying, I couldn't leave her. I felt like it was a connection between us, so I brought her with me, and it was good. But I guess the problem became when my baby dad was involved. She had a problem with me still
You
being in
didn't lie
communication
to
with my
her,
baby
you lied
dad.
to yourself.
Huh?
You lied to yourself. You didn't lie to her at first. You lied to yourself because you genuinely, like you said, you weren't ready. So even with me listening to you say exactly what you said, you didn't really want to be in a relationship. She made you feel something. And so you will continue to feel that. You began lying because, wait a minute, that's not good. So let me lie to get back to where that good feeling was when she saw me like this, because now she's seeing me as something different. I gotta make her, I need for this to be, I have to change this. And instead of you taking the accountability and correcting you and doing your shadow work, you're still creating something. She still has no idea who she's with.
That's true. Well, it's also, you know, not only with that, we did break up in the course of our relationship. We were girlfriends, and she was with someone, and I got pregnant by my baby dad, and that was happening. So she wasn't with me. So I feel like I have some type of animosity for that. The ex-girlfriend ended up passing away, and she ended up getting her initials tatted on her, and that still has me feeling some type of way.
Why?
But
Why would it? She has to look at your tattoo every day and watch it grow.
I don't have a tattoo of nobody but her.
You do. You do. It's called a child.
I don't have a child's name on me. I just have her.
You have a child.
Yeah, I have 3 children.
That's right. And you brought that tattoo, which is that child, back to her. You're talking about a tattoo on a physical body. We're talking about somebody she has to care for.
Well, that was after the fact. I didn't ask her to come back. I didn't ask her to take care.
It doesn't matter. You're wrong here. You are completely wrong here. You should not ever even say you're angry about a tattoo ever. You are wrong here. You have caused this complete and entire scenario that you've just told us about. And you can't help it because you're addicted to it. I don't care how you paint it. You're causing havoc. You had a baby. You had a baby. She got a tattoo. Your child's father is still living. That woman passed away. How dare you say you're upset about that?
It wasn't. I'm not upset about. It's not about.
Everything you getting ready to say, I negate it. You cannot make it make sense.
In fact, she lied to me about it. Like, she could have told me if she was getting a tattoo. She lied to me when I asked her about it.
It doesn't matter. You lie all the time. How dare you? You are a liar. How dare you? You cannot be upset. I'm telling you, you're wrong here. And you're addicted to it because you want to be in the right instead of just being correct. You are wrong in this, all of this you've just said. You're completely wrong. It is time to call a thing, absolutely.
You're right.
Absolutely, ma'am. You're addicted to this kind of shit. You got to do your shadow work here. You got to look at you. You got to put things into perspective, and you got to call a thing a thing. You've caused chaos, and then you're like, oh, you're reacting to my chaos. How dare you react to chaos that I have brought to you? And I'm not saying she was perfect in this relationship, but I'm saying from looking at it and understanding, you are chaotic because it's what you know. And whatever demons you had inside of the relationship with your child's father, you were not done with. And you brought that to her and wanted her to deal with it. So then even inside of the breakup, you went and had a child. She went and got in a relationship. She came back and had a tattoo. You had a child. She can get a tattoo covered. You cannot kill your fucking child. That's something that she has to live with if she wants to be with you and love you. You have to look at it and call a thing a thing. Now you understand, okay, so you do these things, but why? Because of this shit. You don't understand like how the trauma and the bad signals are showing up. So you're enacting in some of this stuff, and then it's what it is you still want to be loved, but you won't stop the toxic behavior. So Chaos begets chaos. So if you bring me something, I'm going to top that. You understand what I'm saying? So if we're in a relationship, Kay, and you bring me this shit, I'm probably going to walk away from it. Or somebody will top that. And now we're going tit for tat. We're bringing more chaos. Meanwhile, there's children involved here. Meanwhile, here come baby daddy back into the situation. You don't understand how this is psychologically fucking her up. Emotionally fucking her up. Why? Because you're making her feel like she has to compete with the dick that you love. I don't care what you say. You have feeling and emotion there. You are being completely wrong and unfair here because you have trauma and bad signals. Hurt people is correct.
Gratitude, absolutely right.
Gratitude to you. You're living in the energy of your mom and you don't know it. And it's because you really don't know who your mom is, because she will not connect with you on a woman-to-woman level. So you don't know who she is. You just know who you've seen her be growing up throughout these years. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
So the parts of her that you saw are showing up in your life. You haven't given yourself time to be who you are. So you don't know who you are. That's what you have to do. That's the bad signals and shit you got to heal, is not knowing who you are, because people put things on you before you were able to develop who you are as Kay. So you were, well, they called me a liar, so let me be that. Oh, I was molested and promiscuous. Let me go ahead and get that. And so all of these different things. My mom, I saw this and she showed me that she was unstable. So let me go ahead and adopt that, because this is what I know. It's not who I am, but I just have to do this because this is what I know. You got to shed this and get rid of that and this and that. And you got to call a thing a thing. I keep fucking up. Damn, why am I fucking up? Because I'm forcing a relationship. One, I'm gonna be honest with you, Kay, you're forcing this relationship. And two, you became a mom. You weren't even sure if you wanted to be a mom. And you didn't even get to engage inside of finding out what you wanted to do with your own life, because so many things was being placed up on you. You don't even like to lie. You just keep doing it because you're addicted to it. You have to call a thing and get out of this so you can move in the most healthiest way. You're being unhealthy and you're being unfair to not just her, you're being unhealthy to and unfair to yourself by not even allowing the person that's really there to shine. You're completely detached with who you are. For you, this ain't even you. It's almost like you're watching a movie of this person that keeps showing up like this, and you know, but that's not really you. And you're not able to exhibit the real you. You got to be exhibiting the real you.
Yo, it's crazy because I was just telling my wife, we were talking about the whole smoking thing. Like, I used to hate when people smoked cigarettes. I used to hate it so bad. Now I'm smoking packs and packs every day. Even though in my mind I tell myself I don't want to smoke a cigarette. The taste is nasty, but it's like subconsciously I'm smoking cigarettes every day. I'm smoking weed before I go to work, smoking a blunt. When I'm on lunch, smoking a blunt. When I'm get off work, smoking a blunt. It's like I'm trying to suppress these feelings, but at the same time, it's like I'm battling with myself, trying to work with myself on changing these things and noticing these things about myself. And like it's just like I said before, like I do sit back and look at where I fucked up at and where I was wrong at. And I do need to take accountability, and I do need to try to change and do the things that I need to do to to make things better. But sometimes I just feel like that it's not worth it. Like sometimes I just feel like it's not worth it. I've been through so much, and sometimes I just feel like I'm not.
So
I'm not
what I hear
strong
you
enough to
saying
do
is
this shit anymore.
you battling with self and you're not sure if it's worth it. The problem is it's the it. It's not an it, it's a you. Are you worth it? You don't know because you have not allowed yourself to live in your truth, who you really are. You're smoking cigarettes. You just told me that wasn't even you. You didn't want to. You adopted it.
Yeah.
It's the same shit I said this rising. We adopt shit and we just keep holding on to it like a badass kid. Put that shit back up for adoption. Plain and simple. That's it. We're not going to ride the horse around and around. I did what this is, but I don't give a fuck. Put that shit away. Put it up for adoption. It doesn't belong to you. I'm telling you, none of this is who you are. You're showing up like this because you're your mother. Get rid of the addiction. That's it. You're being toxic.
I really appreciate you, guys. Because this is something I really needed.
I appreciate you.
I needed somebody to really like tell me about myself for real, because I feel lost a lot of times. I really do. Sometimes I don't feel like I don't know what to do.
I want you to replace the it with the you. That's the bottom line. Are you worth it? How do you know you haven't allowed yourself to be you? That is the bottom line. I want you to go and look at that. I want you to face that. I want you to go and find that. I want you to put all that other shit up for adoption because it's not you. Go ahead and get rid of it. You're the it. It's you. You are worth it. Gratitude. Don't go and ride that pony around and around on the carousel. All right. I'll talk to you again soon.
Yes, ma'am. Love you to life.
Love you to life too. All right. Peace. I'm going to put it back in the chat for a minute. We ain't going to be on here too much longer, y'all. Rakita, I saw you want to come up and say something. Come on up, Rakita. Come up, little cuz. Come up and say what you got to say. You understand when I say the addiction? Did you recognize it? There's no judgment. I just need you to see it, y'all, and recognize it. This is an addiction. Come on up, little cuz. You're the wife. Okay. Where's Rakita? Rakita? Because I want you to see the addiction. I want you to see it all. Because it comes from somewhere. You adopt these things. They don't even belong to you. I have adopted the food. Why? Because I just used to love food as a little girl. I love tasting it. I love the taste of food. My mom used to tell me all the time, that's going to catch up with you. Your weight is going to catch up with you. Your weight is going to catch up with you. When my weight caught up with me, I didn't know what to do with it because she never told me when it catches up, what do? It caught up. I lost the race. I lost the race. That bitch was running fast. Nobody told me what to do with the race. The food caught up. Greetings. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Oh my God. I cannot believe I'm talking to you, Miss Cortita Dean.
Greetings.
Governess, greeting. Look, this is my babe. They like, Mama, that's your friend. Look, this the governess. Say, hey, governess.
Hey, governess. She the one who be talking on YouTube.
Look, what you said? What? Hold on, Cortita. What my baby? What you said, baby?
You the one who be talking on YouTube.
Yes, we is talking on YouTube right now. You on YouTube. People gonna see you. You gotta say what's up.
Say what's up.
What's up?
They supposed to be in bed, but they want they hear me talk or listening to your live, and they want to try to, Mom, that's your friend, because I've been listening to you for and following your teachings for years. From before you was Queen, Yes I Am, then, and I just wanted to come on here and just show gratitude and grace to you because you've showed me and taught me so much. I be commenting on your stuff and I be tagging you on stuff on Facebook, but they took your Facebooks back when the bads and shit was going on. You know, yeah, we back popping, we back in there, biz. Yeah. Excuse my language. I don't mean to be disrespectful. But I love you. And I feel like everything that I've been growing ever since I've been watching you. And I just want to come on here and say, just show gratitude. Even my kids know who you are. They happy to see you too. You like they big auntie.
Gratitude. Yeah, some handsome boys.
Absolutely. Gratitude. And I don't want to talk on live. You know, I changed numbers, but me and you text on my old numbers. I had some stuff going on. Look, what you say, baby?
You be talking to ancestors.
I sure do. I do. Yes, I do.
And what your mama got downstairs? What I got downstairs?
Ancestors.
What?
The altar.
It said they call it the ancestor table.
Okay, period.
Yes, period. And I'm trying to get my money up to come to a aesthetic. Because I want to be there in person and just feel the love. Because every time I feel the love, and I know you're a genuine person, and like I love you from a real genuine place. And I was just so honored to be on the live with you, ma'am. You don't know how much you want to help me from as far as the horoscopes. I had some shit going on in my home one time, and I'm a Pisces, and he was like, Pisces, pay attention to your kids. And then behind that, I started investigating, and I found out some things I've had going on in my home, and I inboxed you on that. And I not even inbox, I text you on your phone and told you that it was accurate. And like I had, like a lot of stuff you've been speaking on, I have validation on it, but I be scared to speak because I feel like I've been getting work done on my family because my family been going through it. And I know that's how the ops do. They come against, you know, if they can't get to you, they're going to get the closest thing to you. So I've been dealing with a lot of that, a lot of deaths in my family.
We're going to clear that energy up.
Mama.
Clear that up. We remove any obstacles, any unwanted energy that may be floating around trying to cause havoc. We call on the soul of Yehuda.
My Yehuda, happy belated birthday, Yehuda. It's Yehuda only. You hear me? And then and my nephew's birthday is the same day, and I'm like, and he's on our level, so he's there mentally. So he haven't been following your teachings, but he's there. So I'm like, it's this nigga Yehuda reincarnated. Yes, ma'am. And then this is what I had wanted to ask you, Queen, because locusts be on my window. A locust even got in my house. So I don't know what is it a sign or a symbol? Because, you know, in they Bibles, you know what I'm saying? Because I know from your teachings that, you know, that's they Bible. It's not ours because we the one gave religion to them. Yeah. You know, so I'm trying. I don't know. I'm like, is this an omen? Should I be worried? But like I said, we've been dealing with a lot of deaths in my family. Like,
it's okay.
It's been coming hard.
It's a cease to that. It's a cease to that. And really, it just feels like it's trying to to stop you and stop you from going in the direction in which you're supposed to be going. I would say don't worry about the locusts because they're everywhere right now. Excuse me. But keep calling the positive energy into your home. What it is you got some deities in your house. They called your children, okay? And the energy just wants them to be in a space of negativity, but you're not going to allow that to happen. So it's for you to keep protecting your children.
And I receive that, and I feel that, and I know exactly what you're talking about. Because, excuse me, I'm getting a little choked up. I was getting a little choked up.
Your children are powerful.
Ma'am.
Your children are powerful deities.
And I know that. And like, I don't let them watch certain things. Like, I shield them from a lot of things, and I expose them to certain things. To the actual teachings, I expose them to that. And that's how they know who you are. They hear me talking to you, and then it's so crazy to me because you resemble one of my sisters. So when I be watching you on live, they be like, "Is that Auntie?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's her."
Your oldest one has a strong gift. I know that. And I don't know if that's in the dream space or if he picks up things and knows things and doesn't know that he actually knows it because he's not. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yes, ma'am.
I know that. And so just keep cleaning the energy in your house. You speak over your house.
Because what day do I sage, boys? What day do I say do the sage? On what day? Y'all remember?
Saturdays.
What days?
Saturdays.
But I've been out of my sage, but so I've been burning my Palo Santo wood. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but yes, ma'am.
Yes. It's all right. It's gonna be okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to keep the floor backwards for some reason.
Ma'am.
You sweep or vacuum, I want you to do it backwards, like going towards the door.
Towards the door.
Yes, like backwards, okay?
Receive, because I got carpet, so yes, ma'am. I understand. Yes, ma'am. And then and another thing, Miss Cortita,
you don't have to copy.
You can text me later. I can inbox you, but it's a lot of things. I don't know. I need to get my money right so I can do me a reading. And every time you be doing your free classes, I don't be financially stable to do. I be financially frustrated because I learned from you a long time ago. Never say I'm broke because you speaking over your life because you know words are spells. So I'm cautious of the things that I say. Gratitude.
You doing the ritual?
I did the ritual. I do the morning rituals when when you know how we did the music. I mean, when you had the tones going, and I put the tears on, you know, the oils and stuff under my feet, and I got, like I said, I even put the money on my ancestor table to receive all the blessings. But look, you told me a couple of years ago to follow what I wanted to do, and I was in the medical field. So I went back to school and I got my associate's degree in science for medical assistant. This was in 2020. Why? I just got my degree last week.
Good for you.
Just got it last week from 2020. I finished in November 2020. Our graduation was April 2021, but I'm just now getting my degree 2023. And then, you know, with that degree, I can teach and do different. I had different employment opportunities available for me if I would have had my degree, but I never had it until last week when I was supposed to get hired at their school. But once I got it, they tell me, let me know the position's already been filled. But I know that because school started last week. So I'm just trying to get into the medical field. I'm just blessed now they're not requiring a jab because that will put a halt to my career anyway. Because I was thriving from the bottom instead of a neighborhood plasma center, making great money. able to provide for my children. And then when the pandemic broke out, I had to homeschool them. So that put up, I was been financially strapped since then. Because I ain't gonna say I've been broke. I just been strapping. You know
That's
how you gotta
right.
fight.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's gonna work itself out, but it took a while. But I feel like everything happens in time the way it should happen. And so who knows if you would have got it in those times? It might have been a requirement for you to get the jab. You know what I'm saying? Right now you're
But
here.
I never did it. My children, we never did it. So and now they're released this new thing that you told us about way back then. They're a new strain, and I'm just cautious because my boys. Well, you don't know, but you probably do know because you in tune with everyone. So they got underlying health conditions. So I wasn't able to homeschool, like withdraw them from school because I've been trying to get the money. I've been financially frustrated. So I've been trying to do what I need to do. And that's what prevented me to hunt from homeschooling because I got teaching background as well. That's why I'm just trying to go to school that's why I went to school so I can teach at their school. It's just been a lot.
It's all right though. It's all right though. And you'll continue to get through it. You're gonna be fine. Continue to look in different places for the job because when things get shut down, that means that's not where you're supposed to be at.
Correct.
So just continue to go through and look, and
then I look a whole mess on this. I got my scarf on. I've been in the sun all day. My melanin glistening.
It is. Yes, ma'am.
But yours is too. But you always glistening. You just be on point. I don't know if it be tied to lip gloss that have you the natural glow from your Huda and Mother Adina.
Because period, gratitude.
Period. And I can't wait to I get this money and so I can get my candles and stuff. I want to be spraying my spray when the end is. And did you know? Well, you don't know, but when I burn my sage, I don't have to worry about no bullshit. Anybody that's with the bullshit, they don't come to my residence. I don't have to do because they don't come here. I burn my sage to say my prayer and ask Yehuda to shield and protect you, and I don't have to worry about anything.
Mom, I want to play the song Patient.
My son wants me to play the song called Patience for you by Damian Marley and Nas. I'm not gonna play that. I'm not gonna take my time, baby. I know y'all supposed to be in the bed. They just so excited, girl. They so happy that I'm on the live with you. They don't even want to go to bed with you.
I show appreciation and I show gratitude for coming up and just speaking your piece. I
appreciate you for inviting me up because I've been trying. Like I said, I've been following you since 2019 when you did the world reading when you had on the hoodie, the blue hoodie. That's how long we've been tuned in and liking everything. Then girl, it's so crazy because I had started working third shift on the job and I used to watch your videos at work. But why they disconnect their Wi-Fi and I couldn't watch it no more when I went to work. But it's so crazy because at the same time you were saying they was trying to block you. They don't want your message to be out there. Yeah. And then like when I learned some, each one teach one. So I be putting everybody on you. So I'm at work, got my co-workers, all us in there listening to it, got them going to the horoscopes, listen to your horoscopes and all that. They blocked it so we couldn't even do it. And I was doing security.
Gratitude for it. It's all appreciated. Definitely is. And love. Definitely. Gratitude, Miss Celia.
Yes, and I be talking, and I'm like, I hope she don't think I'm with no funny bunny stuff. And like, cause I done sent you pictures of my, cause you normally you don't talk to or deal with any flip. Like I done sent you my ID pictures of my ID from my other phone, so you can, when I was texting you, so you can know that I'm an actual person and I'm not a bot or been placed, cause you know how they have people in place to bring a real one down, just like they did Rashad Jamal, because he was another one that I listened to. He was on the same thing. You had kind of y'all was basically teaching the same thing, but they got locked up because his teachings. They gave him 10 years. Was trying to get him 40 on false allegations on some Dr. They basically did him like they did Dr. York. And I know you know who Dr. York, because you done spoke on him before. But it's basically the same thing. They did him exactly like they did Dr. York, because you guys had basically the same teaching. And then I was just watched the one of his recent, because since he got sentenced, they've been posting a lot of his old videos. And guess who he was talking about? Metatron. I'm like, hold up now.
Really?
I knew this cat. I like this cat but that's why because you, Dr. York, and Rashad, y'all teach, even though y'all don't know each other. Y'all just in tune with y'all star player. You in tune with y'all, the answer y'all get down low, and y'all was teaching the same things. But he got locked up because his teachings and Dr. York. So that's why I send prayers and protection around you, because you the last one out there doing it, boo. That's bringing the truth and the real. You the last that I know about, and you bring the real and you keep the truth, and I just feel everything you say and teach resonate with me within my soul. Even the young lady who you was talking to before you clicked me in, that resonated with me. I feel like you was speaking to me as well. Even though I came in late, I got the message. Because it don't matter. Long as you get the message and grasp the understanding. This, and take heed and move accordingly after you hear the message.
Absolutely. Gratitude for coming up. We're going to let some other people come on up so we can finish this healing, so we can go on and get out of here. I so appreciate you, Miss Jones. Sending love to the babies.
And gratitude, I just appreciate you. And then, I just feel so uplifted. This conversation, just being able to talk to you, to have a conversation, and we piggyback on the conversation. It's just beautiful. And I love you, Cortita.
Gratitude.
And Toddy, have she registered? Did a baby registry? Yeah, I want to send the baby something. If not, you can send me your inbox me your PO box, and I send my little nephew niece
at Target.
Okay. Well, so post the link soon so I can, do what I can do.
Post it.
Okay, cause and then another thing, my Facebook, in my what's the station head, all this shit's been magically deleted. I don't even have it on my phone anymore. But when you first did it and I downloaded and logged into it, it don't even let me get on station heads. I got to create a new profile now. But I've been on there since you first got on there. And just now I used to then see your YouTube posts. I used to then get no notifications, and I used to then see none of your Facebook stuff. But now everything's coming through. So gratitude to you, and I love you to life, and continue to do what you do. And I send you love, light, and peace. And I'm so proud. I'm so happy you finna be a G mama. You finna be a glam mama.
Gratitude. I so appreciate it. Yes, I am. I'm about to be a Mimi. I appreciate it. I'm going to make sure I repost it, because I did post the registry, but I'll post it again.
Okay, well, gratitude, because I didn't see it. And I love all my cousins on the live. Aubrey, what's my little Jamaican girl name? Oh my God. Oh,
I don't know. We
I'm
don't deal with it no more. If that's
Malika.
what it is, we don't deal with
Nah,
her.
Malika. It's Malika, Aubrey,
No, ma'am.
Chaz. No, mom.
No, you behind.
That's why I told you they've been. I don't know. Am I shadow banned now? I don't know what's
No.
going. I don't know how it works. But I love you guys. I love you, Aubrey, Chaz, everybody, and all my cousins. And I just show gratitude, and I appreciate you for even letting me come up and just say my piece. And now that
Gratitude.
talking to you, my heart and my mind and soul is at ease. In the name of Yehuda Buddha, gratitude, Queen.
Gratitude. Quatita.
I mean, oh gosh, forgive me. I ain't
That's
mean
all
to
right.
curse you out, boo. I know what it means. You taught us
It's
what it means a
okay.
long time ago.
It's okay.
Gratitude, governess.
Gratitude.
Quatita.
Talk to you soon.
Okay.
All right. Peace. Hold on. So we got a couple people backstage, but hold on.
Greetings.
Greetings.
Girl. I feel like okay, so where do we begin, honey? Where do we begin with this? I feel like a lot of my auditions came from the coping of my childhood as
Mhm.
well. The weed, the sex,
Mhm.
I felt like, girl, oh, it's a lot. Like, this is a lot to unpack, especially if I ain't never really just, talked about it. But I feel like the only way that you can be able to talk about it is to really call it out for what it
Yeah.
is.
Absolutely.
It's just a lot there. And I feel like that's the only thing that's been keeping me like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Well, wait a minute. Let's talk about it. I'm sorry.
No, I want some food. You ain't want some. You need a bite.
Let's talk about it. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to go back and trace the core,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
You know, you say so a lot, and I know you dealt with certain things, but
Yeah.
you have to go back and find that core and then go to the first time of where like the addiction started of being in the physical. Because see, they started with the symptoms of the shit that was happening. That's
Mhm.
when addiction started, like a pregnancy. You know, you pregnant before you ever fuck. You understand me?
Right.
It's the egg
Right.
when it starts to do its thing. That's the beginning of the pregnancy. So the addiction starts here. But when is the first time it manifested in the physical?
It manifested when I was younger, to be honest, through the molestation. When that started, and then it was just like everything after that, it came because I was able to, I was looking for porn and looking to feel those sexual urges because of the molestation and how many times I went through it. The urges, with everything, even to the point of just sometimes I would ask myself, why are you doing this?
Mm-hmm.
And then the weed didn't come until later. And then I also feel like it had the porn played a part because I couldn't really be myself, so I would sneak and be able to watch the porn because that's what I ultimately wanted to do. to feel comfortable with myself because I knew that it was not going to be accepted with my family at all.
So what age did the porn start?
Um, I'll say about 12 because I wasn't able to get like computer access or anything like that until like when I was a little bit older, 12, 13, something like that, I believe. Yeah, about 12, 13.
That's still young. That's
Yeah.
still young. Yeah. Yeah. So even when you're looking at it, so you kind of really, like what the core is, and you kind of know where the bat signals are coming in at. It's almost like you can't get your footing because the bat signals keep showing up.
Yeah.
So when you feel like you needing or wanting to smoke the weed, what is it that you're feeling?
Normally it's just more so I just want to be happy. I feel like that I'm the happiest on it. You know what I'm saying? Like laughing or the laughter part of it because I don't laugh as normal as I do, sometimes if I'm not around the people that make me happy. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm around my people that make me happy, I'm normally,
Okay. So now wait. Take us through like one day of not smoking weed. What's happening inside of your mind?
I'm easily frustrated. Um Constantly kind of triggered. Um Overthinking a lot, not necessarily taking the time out to process certain things. I'm moving fast. Everything is just triggering me through every which way. Um, because I'm looking for that feel to calm me down. I love the calmness of it, of how it makes me feel because I don't think in those moments. I just be in those moments. Even if they not lasting long. And if it makes me go to sleep, I get to sleep it off. You know what I'm saying? Like in that aspect of it, because I haven't been smoking weed long, but weed was the only thing to help me to not be as depressed as I was, or really face my depression with some of the darkest moments that I had in my life.
So then what it has to be and what it's also seeming like to me is this. Two things jump out as I hear you talk. Two things jump out. One, you have not fully addressed, said, stood in your truth of your molestation, and because it's like you're still protecting the people even though you don't fuck with them, you don't talk to them, but you're lucky that I haven't exposed you.
Mm-hmm.
So you're still eating it because you haven't like actually stood in all of the truth and what's bothering you because it keeps coming up to you. Your bat signals keeps coming up to you. So then inside of that shit, you're feeling like I am who I am. Am I accepted? So the bad signals of even the kid of not feeling like you would be accepted is this still, and in the family that you have now come into, you're still not sure if you're accepted. So you still feeling like you're not accepted. So it's like an unsurety of all of these things.
Yeah.
That just keeps eating at you because that's what it's doing. It's festering. And so all you're doing is plugging it in with sex and porn and weed and beautiful makeup and making sure your hair looks good.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. We're plugging here and not really dealing.
Mm-hmm.
So then you're cycling inside of your mind because you know what? Let me just, what am I going to do? Okay, what am I needing to do business wise? Okay, I'm going to do this because this is really what I want to do. But then it's like, boom. Greetings, I'm on. Greetings,
Mm-hmm.
I'm on.
Mm-hmm.
And now the cameras are gone and I'm back.
Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right.
There's no healing here. There's only plugging shit up. You have to go into the healing. You got to call a thing, Aubrey. I believe it starts in two places. It starts with you addressing and acknowledging the traumas with an S that you experienced, that you felt, that you saw. And then it has to be you accepting and loving yourself completely and totally. All things about you. You have to love it and accept it.
Okay.
I hear you say, okay, but your soul, when I said that, your soul said to me, that's difficult. Your soul said that to me, and then you said, okay. I heard it.
Because honestly, I don't know how, like, I feel like,
Let's talk about the molestation.
okay.
Tell me what you want me to know.
My brother molested me.
You needed to say that, Mama. That was the most difficult thing you could have said. What was the shame of that? Because you didn't want to say that. That's what you didn't want to stand in. Tell me why.
Out of fear of being judged.
Nobody's going to judge you. Not here. My father tried to fuck me. There's no judgment here. You were molested more than one time by your brother who keeps trying to force himself into your life. Fuck that shit. And it's eating you alive. Tell me why.
Because I always wanted to tell people and they never was going to believe me.
We all believe you. We all believe you. There's also another factor to it. I'm going to say it to you so you can stand in it. The very brother who molested you, who is also gay, is also your mom's favorite.
Mm-hmm.
How does that make you feel?
I hate it. Because how could you love somebody that did this to me and you praised him, but you belittle me? I'm shit to you. I'm the scum of the fucking earth to you. But you praise this individual when I was there to help you and he wasn't. Through all of your fucked up situations. And I get the bad end of your stick because you don't like me because I'm a trans woman. But that doesn't take away that I'm the same person that was there for you. Always. And you're not gonna ever be here for me like I was there for you. Unconditionally. And it hurts. Because I feel like, you know what I'm saying? You are my fucking mother, bro. Like I've yet to understand that.
You have to understand it like this. She's your incubator. Gratitude. Gratitude to her womb.
Gratitude.
If that's the only thing we can find to show gratitude, That's the most important.
Mm-hmm.
Gratitude for letting me use your womb. I know you didn't know what to do after that. That's okay. Am I right? Because the person that you gave birth to is doing all right. She needs some help. We've talked about that, but she needs some help because now that you're shedding some of this stuff that's holding you back, that's keeping you addicted, that you're learning from.
Mm-hmm.
So, because you also hate the word trans,
Yes, with a
there's
passion.
so much to that, Aubrey. It's so much to that. That's why I want you to learn to love everything about you because we've had conversations, so I know certain things.
Yeah.
And I want you to love you genuinely, all of you, every fucking part of you. So you can get rid of, I want you to get rid of trans and I want you to get rid of woman. I want you to just be Aubrey. Aubrey is whatever she is in that motherfucking moment at that time. And in that, she is enough of every fucking thing. We see you. You don't need the weed, but I understand it and you can do it. It's keeping you bound and stuck. And I see it. You're just Aubrey Marie. That's why Spirit came to you the way Yehuda did and gave you Marie. You needed to see that you're accepted by the Spirit.
Gratitude.
You're my sister.
Yes.
You're all right with me. You're all right with the soul. You're all right with the spirit. You show all right with Papa Candelo.
And ears.
And you were molested by your brother. And you watched your parents fight and your mother was abused. That's your truth. And none of us is going to be upset that you love men because, bitch, we love some men's.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's okay. Call a thing a thing. Get rid of it. Put that shit up for adoption. Are you going to be done with it? You have to be done with that.
Yes.
It gets you down so much and you sit with that a lot. Y'all know what y'all need to do, what we need to do. Y'all know what the process we need to do.
What we need to do.
We need to write adoption papers up and put that shit up for adoption.
I like that idea. Kind of like with the letter.
Absolutely. Need to put that shit up for adoption. And then you need to burn it so you don't continue to go back to that, even if it's just a thought. Now, understandably, we have some things that are a little bit stronger that we got to still do work for, which is why we need to do our Zoom meetings so we can talk everybody out of the things that are holding us. Because, you know, sometimes that addiction to pills is real. You know, so we need to start to just look at some things and it's gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right.
I believe it.
Put up the adoption papers, write your adoption papers up. Because I need to put this food up for adoption.
Yes.
Girl. Gratitude.
Gratitude. I love you, sis.
I love you too. Blissfully. Gratitude. I saw little cuz she dropped back out. I don't know. You was in here for a minute though. You dropped back out.
Does she want to come back up? Is she still here?
Yeah, Teresa in the back, so we're gonna bring Teresa up. But I was hoping that little cuz came back up because that's the wife, right?
Yeah, she said she was the wife and she wanted to talk.
Okay. Well, if you're in the chat, let me put it back so you can come up. We're gonna bring Teresa up. Aubrey, I love you.
Okay, I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
All right.
Teresa?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Governess. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for doing this and for allowing me to come up here and speak to you.
Okay, no problem. Got you for coming.
So I feel like with addictions, I feel like I'm pretty aware of myself in terms of things I need to change. I just don't know how to change them. And a big issue that I have is I can't remember my childhood, which is weird. And I know like some people say maybe you went through trauma or something, and that's why you can't remember your childhood.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like sometimes I'll come across certain smells or certain energies that will like trigger something and like a thought will pop up. But besides that, I can't really remember it. But I feel like whatever is kind of locked away affects my more so addiction to like negative situations with people. um because I'm not good at picking men. And I haven't been, and I tried to overcome it. Like I hadn't dated for like I dated, but I wasn't in a relationship for like 7 years. I tried to soul search, really get an understanding of myself, and I thought I figured things out, and I was better just to like get in another relationship where it wasn't really, I wasn't happy, and I was dealing with like repetitive cheating. And I know this sounds crazy, but my way of like coping with it was just like I haven't ever seen a man that hasn't cheated. I haven't ever seen a relationship that wasn't like that. So it was just like all men cheat. You just have to get the best cheating man. So I just don't know really I know it doesn't feel good, so I know it's not right, but I just don't know how to get past that and unlock like those memories.
So sometimes what's being blocked is being blocked for the betterment of self until it's time for it to be released. And sometimes when you are having um like those flashes when things brings it back to your mind, you know, um in those periods, in those times, what is it that you recognize?
It's I don't it's really crazy because I sometimes I'll have like these deep dreams where it's just like in a almost in a blink of an eye I can see my whole lifespan. But I can't like it would just happen really quick and then I can't remember it after that. But some things are like some negative things would pop up, like instances with like my stepdad, but I have a crazy like imagination. Somebody could tell me a story and then I almost can like accept it over time as if it was my own thought. So I don't know if I don't know what sometimes was real and what's not because I don't remember.
So
um
what it sounds like to me is you accept what you feel in your soul registers to you. That's what it's doing, it's registering to you. So somewhere you may have experienced it or seen it, or it is a part of your life that you cannot remember. And it's just like, you know what? I can accept that because I know that that's real because somewhere in my mind and my soul is accepting of it because you can't place it, but you can't displace it either. So it's about like, so let me say this. Let me ask you this. Did you move around very often growing up?
yes.
Okay. So what is one of the places that you remember?
I remember like a childhood home. I'm big on angel numbers, and that childhood home is where I saw like dragonflies, which I think follows me through my whole life. And I remember the that street. Like I went to visit it as an adult, so I remember that place. But I think I
Okay. So with that being said, stay in that place, right? Stay
mhm.
in that place. What city is that?
It's in Cleveland.
Okay. And so that place in Cleveland, tell me about getting ready for bed.
Oh, I can't remember. I remember my mom used to always make us take showers before we went to bed.
And who is
Um,
that? You have siblings?
I do. I have siblings. I grew up with I grew up with two of them and a stepsister, kind of in and out.
Okay. And so y'all would have to get in the shower before bed. And so did y'all play when you got in the room? Were y'all laughing? Were you loud? Like, what's some memory there?
Okay, so we did used to like play, and we used to get in trouble because we would we need to we needed to lay down. I remember we used to have like sleepovers where we all would like sleep on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I remember crazy stuff. Like my brother was really young, so he stole my wallet, but he was like he was maybe like 3 or 4. Um, I remember I fell and cracked my tooth on like a bike. I just remember crazy random stuff, but it doesn't make
So, okay. So who to you, what kind of mother was your mom around that time in that place?
um I don't like to speak ill of nobody, but I remember being young and just feeling like I remember
That's
one
your
time,
problem.
huh?
That's your problem.
Probably,
You don't
probably.
want to call a thing a thing.
Yeah. I remember one time I was in the bathroom and I was just doing something and the rod had fell, and my mom was like so pissed that she called me a bitch. But I'm like, I'm young. I'm like in my single digits, and she used to have this camcorder in the corner of the room, just recording for like family moments. And I remember like I felt so sad that I went over to the camcorder just hoping it was recording, just telling her like that I didn't want to live anymore because she called me a bitch. Like
What's,
that's
well, tell me now what you feel, because you feel something.
feel about that moment or about my mom.
Both, because you feel it. I heard it in your voice. Your voice changed.
I mean it's crazy because I feel like it shouldn't hurt still, but it does.
Hmm. So you have adopted the blocking. So you've decided to block things out so you don't have to look at it and speak ill of it, so you don't have to feel it.
Yeah.
You were disrespected in a way that you had not, you know what I'm saying? You knew that that was not acceptable. So that really disturbed you. That gave you a bat signal. So now how often have you accepted people calling you that?
Well, people don't actually like in my adult life. Only two people ever called me a bitch was my sister and my cousin and my mom. And I stopped talking to my sister. I blocked her, but my mom like forced me to talk to my sister. But I feel like in terms of like accepting disrespect in general is too easy for me to just like try to ignore it. And I feel like I'm not that good with sticking up for myself, but I just don't want the conflict.
So what do? You walk away from it? What do you do?
I just ignore it. I just act like it's not happening.
But it is. That's the blocking. You've act like none of that. You are completely detached of who you were. The most vivid of your memories is when you step back in and reattach yourself back to yourself. Everything else you detached yourself from, as if it was not you happening, because as soon as the memory came, it made you very emotional. So you've detached to say these things didn't happen. So I can just go on. I am chipper. I am great. I am, but you're not. And it's okay that you're not. It's just about looking at it and just sitting with self and kind of experiencing and then looking at it, processing it. You don't have to sit in it, but you have to acknowledge it so you can stop allowing it, because that's how it's showing back up in your life. And you may not have a whole bunch of physical addictions, but you're addicted to blocking. You sweeping. You're a heavy sweeper. You acting like none of this shit has ever happened. Because there's probably been other times people actually said bitch and it didn't register.
Yeah.
So I understand you can put together two, which was like absolutely the fuck not, because that is where the trigger is. So you're holding on to some things by blocking it. Really just unlock it, and you don't even have to remember every memory, but go into what you can remember so you can clear it out. And the way I took you into it, just keep taking yourself into it. But you have to clear it out. Don't sit in it. Clear it out and understand that it's okay to get into it and clear it out, so it don't keep showing up. It's showing up as what? Stagnant energy. It's showing up as non-remembrance. Like, in order for you to go where you need to go, you need to know who you were.
I'm worried it's gonna cause me so much pain to do that.
You do a little bit at a time. Like you've pulled this one out, right? So now you deal with that. That it happened where, because I have to say it this way too. You don't have to forgive everything, but I would say look at it. What was your mom inside of? No excuses, but what was she inside of? Reason why she even went there.
I feel like that's why I excuse people so much too, because I'm thinking like I always give people the benefit of the doubt. Like it's never me. Essentially, they got something going on with their own self. But I know, like my mom, I know she was like in an unhealthy relationship. I think they were in like the midst of like getting a divorce, not having money to even like pay for us to survive. You get what? So I know it's like she wasn't in a great place. Not saying
So
she was a bad mother.
do you talk to your mom?
I do talk to her now. Her attitude is very rah-rah all the time. She's on like she's a very naturally aggressive person, but she doesn't see it. And so I talk to her, but I talk to her in a way where I try to like shield my feelings, so I'm not sitting there offended the whole time.
You learned that though, because she's always been that way. So you learned that. You've put that away because you don't want to look at her as a bad person. You've said that twice. You defended her after saying that. You went immediately defending her. But it's all right for her to stand in her shit. Because it was an act, it happened. Everything that you experienced via her, it's okay to stand in it without having to give the disclaimer of, I'm not saying she's a bad person or she was a bad mom. Well, maybe she was. That's okay. And that's okay though. That's your experience of her. Was she there at times that you needed her? That counts too. But you got to call a thing a thing. You don't have to go to the defense of it. We're not going to think bad of her because we don't know her. We know the experience that you give upon us. And we just see it as what it is, because she may have been in a very different place. I was the aggressive mom. I totally understand it. I had to stand in my truth. What the fuck is you so angry about all the time, Quatita? Your daughter keeps saying, Quatita, that you are talking to her reckless, and you got to own that. Oh, okay. Well, I need to own that. So damn, you mean I wasn't as good of a mom as I thought? Well, shit, let me stand in that. I got to stand in that. I have to call a thing, Miss Teresa.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want my daughter to come to my defense in some things like that. You know, because I know I'm a good mom. She knows I'm a good mom, but have I always been? Nah. And in those moments, she don't have to defend me. I want her to know that. I want you to know that. Because it's all right for her to have her flaws. She made you unhappy in some ways, but in some ways she may have made you happy, and that's okay. But we trying to get to the core of what's causing the show up and the show out in your life. So in order for us to do that, we got to call a thing a thing. I'm upset with my mom because my mom stayed in a very abusive relationship and it made her grumpy towards us.
Mm-hmm.
That's my truth. And that's okay if that's some of your truth. Put that shit up for adoption.
And I have a concern that I feel like you know when they say people don't want things to happen so bad that it winds up happening.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's almost the situation that I'm causing now for myself and like my dating life. But I really don't like. I really feel like I go in so honest and so aware, and it's just like I don't know how to avoid it at this point.
Because you're still avoiding your father. You keep saying we talking about your mom, but you talking about this relationship and how you choosing your father, man. That's the same person that keeps showing up as your dad. You got to get rid of that too. So you can see men differently and experience them differently. And not just want them there because your father wasn't there the way you would want. You're choosing your father.
Yeah.
And that's all right.
Yeah. I mean, it's scary.
That's the addiction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, governess.
Yes, ma'am. Gratitude.
Thank you so much. Gratitude. Gratitude.
Absolutely. Greetings.
Greetings. Can you hear me?
Yes, how are you?
I'm doing good. It's a blessing getting to speak with you.
Gratitude. Tell me why you wanted to come up and speak.
Just because I kind of walked into the conversation with my wife a little bit late, and some of the stuff you were saying, I've been trying to tell her. You know what I'm saying? With me, I accept her. I don't mind helping her unpack her baggage and put it away. You know what I'm saying? I try to make a home with her and just let her know that she's not alone. Become that friend and also that lover. Sometimes it don't work, and then when I think that it is working, sometimes it's not.
Are you aware that she's addicted to lying?
Oh man, I tell her all the time. Sometimes I feel like you don't know how to tell yourself out of a wet paper bag, and you don't have to. Like, let me hear it out of your mouth first before, like, because I don't know. I have the spirit be talking to me, and the spirit be telling me things, and I'll speak it to her. And I think because I'm all the way to a T with it, it might scare her. And she's a very prideful person. So instead of being, like, I'm wrong, you're right, let's move forward, what can we do? She gets kind of nasty and disrespectful sometimes, just to get that hunch off of her and put it on you. She deflects a lot. And so when you were talking to her, it was like you literally are saying everything that I've said to her, and it kind of bothers me because it's like, why do you have to seek any outside conversation? You are my wife. So if I tell you that it's this, it's that, you're supposed to go with me, just like vice versa. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like, I'm not telling you this because I don't care about you. I'm telling you this because I do care about you. Matter of fact, I just told her a couple weeks ago, I think by the time that you love me the way I love you, I'm going to be out of love with you and it's going to hurt.
Okay, so let's pause because that was what I wanted to say to her, but Spirit kept me from saying that because she needed the other shit first.
Right.
So, what I also need to say to you is, what are you addicted to inside of her? And what are you showing up in your bad signals that keeps you with her? Because she's showing up as somebody that you should have rid of in your life of their energy. There has to be a parent.
Yeah, I think it's because I've always been drawn to broken souls and wanting to heal them because I'm a broken soul myself. I've been sexually molested, but with me, sex scares me. I didn't become promiscuous. I don't have to sleep with the guy for the guy to be on my tip. Like I told her the other day, you are not the only person in this relationship who somebody wants to fuck on. The difference is because I don't want that feeling, so I don't give it to you. But I could get my leg back.
But this the
Who
thing.
wants to?
This the thing. You're not fixing her. You're trauma bonding with her.
I think so. Yeah.
And you're both feeding the addiction.
Yeah.
Because you're right. You don't have to, do that in order for this addiction and for these bad signals to show up, because she showed up as your mother and you showed up as hers.
Right. Now, I'm very close with my mother and my sister. We grew up that, we are the tribe. And she expresses that sometimes it's jealousy that she feels. So that's where some things can be a little bit ugly with the two. But my mother and my sister will never disrespect her because that's the one I love. You know what I'm saying?
White?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And she's going through her own thing. She needs me, but I'm afraid.
I'm so glad you said it. You need to say that. You need to be needed, but you're not needing yourself. Tell me why.
I don't know. I think because where a lot of things happened and I didn't have that person to lean on, I became the person for people to lean on.
Yes, and you speak so good. You just like her. You can speak so good and the spirit is talking to you and you ignore when they talk to you for you.
Now, I don't
You
ignore.
knew she wasn't with you correctly. You knew that. You knew that in the beginning of this.
Actually, no. I was blindsided. But when I found out, I gave her the opportunity to walk away and she didn't. So I walked with her.
You didn't want to know. You saw the broken in her.
Oh, yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah, I see what you mean on that.
You saw it. You didn't want to see it. So you needed to be needed. So you knew she needed what you was coming with.
Mm.
You got addicted to that. You are really good with this of knowing what's going on with somebody else because you've trained yourself in that way.
Yes, ma'am.
To be what somebody else needed. You have not been what you needed.
Yes, ma'am. And it's tearing me down.
It is.
It really is. And I'm scared that if I say, hey, I have to go over here, that I can't trust the fact that I won't be done dirty.
What I'm saying to you is, you know she's not being with you correctly and you want to fix it. And so it's all of these different ultimatums and situations and conversations. But in your soul, you don't want to be rid of her. You went and got with another relationship. She passed away.
Yeah. And I still hear about it I still hear about it. It's been
You're
5
stuck
years.
in that. You're stuck. I don't care about what she talking about. I'm talking about you. You're stuck in that. Did she pass away after the breakup?
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
That's why you're stuck there. Neither one of you are feeling genuine inside of this, and you're trauma bonding. You probably don't even like each other half the time. You're trauma bonding. You're holding on to each other so you don't have to go anywhere else because you're familiar with this trauma.
Yeah.
So even as you're having these conversations, you're both just riding a pony going round and round on this carousel. You got to look at your shit. She has to look at her shit because both of you are putting the shit together and all we're doing is mixing chaos. You're not healed. You're using her as your crutch to be needed. You're not calling a thing because you and your mom and your sibling is close, but there's still shit in there. You won't even call that a thing.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do that. You got to call a thing a thing. This is trauma bonding. Once we get rid of the trauma and the bonding, then we can see if there's love in there.
I love her. I know I love her.
Tell me what you love about her.
I love her. I love the fact that when
Did
she's
she
not.
lies?
No, I love the fact that
Did
when
she
she's
brought her
not.
baby home?
No.
That she can't be trusted?
Mm,
That she's manipulative?
that's
That
fuck.
she's narcissistic and egotistical? You tell me what it is you love. You stop me.
I don't love that.
You love her presence in your life.
Yeah, like my best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're best friends with a baby who love each other.
But what is it you love? You don't like each other half the time.
I don't like the shit she does. So yeah.
You don't.
Yeah.
That's who she is, because that's what she knows. So you love her potential.
Yeah. Because I see it in her.
Absolutely.
She's so bright-minded when she has ideals, and I'm behind her because I feel like when she tells me she's never had nobody to support her. So I try to be that supportive to show her like, you got this, girl. You know what I'm saying?
She's not the only fucked up person. Let me tell you something. You're enabling the fuck out of her.
Mm.
Because as long as, let me tell you something. What you're doing is feeding a junkie crack. So she keeps coming back because you got the best crack. And she's going to still need your crack. You're enabling her. She's not a bad person.
No.
She's addicted. And you're feeding her addiction. You're enabling her by not fixing yourself.
Okay.
You got to fix where your damage is. You need to look at the bad signals as to what is familiar about her that you still feel like is pulling you in, because there's many situations here.
Yeah.
Call a thing a thing. She's not a bad person, and neither are you, but this is trauma bonding. And it's just a bunch of feeding chaos.
Mm.
You're enabling her, and she's enabling you. She's enabling you to be the fixer. She keeps giving you situations so you can feel needed.
Yeah.
She's enabling the fuck out of you. Is it you or your mom that has the problems with the legs?
Me. I
Why are
broke
you not, what's going on with that?
I broke my foot last year, and ever since I broke my foot, my legs have been swelling on me. My feet's been swelling on me. But when I go get tested, they say it's not diabetes. They say, oh, elevate your feet, blah, blah, blah. But where sometimes it's hard to breathe, it's easier to sleep in the recliner than it is in the bed. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. You got to take care of you.
Yeah.
This is so you don't have to look at you. You got to look at you because there are a lot of things going on where you were not seen or you didn't feel seen and you didn't feel protected and there was a lot of trauma and there was a lot of like bad words spoken to you.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Y'all got to stop this. You got to stop this because what has now happened is because of your ex that passed away that you were not able to save or fix, you are working overtime.
Mm.
Meanwhile, you are taking yourself out of here.
I feel it. I really do.
So you're going to get busy just surviving until the end meets, or are you going to fucking live? You got a decision to make.
You know what's crazy? Everything you say, my spirit tells me it. And it's like to actually hear it in the physical, it kind of, I won't say I feel like a jab in the heart. I just feel that frog in the throat.
Absolutely. Tell me why life is important to you.
For me, I'm gonna be honest. Like if it was up to me, it is what it is. But
No.
I
And
live
I needed you to
because
say
of
that.
I live because of
Other people.
other people. Yeah.
You got to find why life is important to you. You living for other people is the reason why you are dying. That is not okay.
It's not.
It is not. Your life is important. I want you to figure that out. I want you to think about that.
Yes, ma'am.
I send you off with love, though.
Oh, I feel it with you. I feel
Yeah,
like I've known you my whole life.
and
So I definitely feel it.
have
Yes, ma'am.
gratitude.
Gratitude.
Peace to you both.
Peace to you.
What's up, Marshall Lee?
Oh, greetings.
Hey, greetings.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm up, so I'm doing good.
Okay, and is. And
Early.
is.
Mm-hmm. So I was just sitting backstage. I was listening and everything, and I resonate with so many people on there. But I think for me, my addiction is um being accepted.
Mm. Understood. Where'd it come
I
from?
feel like it started, like back when in my child and when I was younger. Never never feeling like I've been seen and or overlooked and stuff like that. So that's where it stems from with me. And I feel like I always been um searching for that, to be seen or to be loved.
So how's it showing up?
Um me making poor decisions in relationship wise
or with men, I even done caught myself, seeing it show up to my kids sometimes, like how you said one time we try so hard to run away to not be like our parent or our mother or whatever to where we run right into them, and I find myself sometimes doing stuff. I'm like, damn, like that's how my mama kind of showed up to me,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Understood. So, but you've been doing good with the week, though.
I have. I have. I really have. Like here lately, like I'm not gonna lie, these last 2 days I've been having an urge to want to smoke, but then my spirit tell me like you're bigger than that urge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you're stronger than that urge. Like you really don't need it. You really don't need
Where
it.
do you feel like what's happening in the moments of when you're wanting to smoke it? Is it coping? Is it boredom? Like, what is it?
Um, Sometimes I can say it's coping. Like if something like if something goes on, I'm just like, you know what, fuck it. I just feel like I need to smoke me a blunt or something, you know.
Mhm.
But then I just like I said, then my inner spirit just like, you better than it. Like you don't need it. Um, that's why I can relate to, what Aubrey was saying earlier about the grumpiness or the how she feel when she don't smoke and everything, because I was that same person,
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like I would be irritated real quick. I would snap off on my kids and and everything. I'd be like, oh shit, I just need to calm my nerves. That'd be my excuse. I need to calm my nerves instead of finding other ways to calm my nerves.
You are also seemingly addicted to not having a voice.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like they got taken away from me too at a child as a child. Um, I feel like it really got taken away from me when I got raped and didn't nobody never ask me what happened.
Yes.
It was always you fast, you hot, a baby having a baby, um, stuff like that.
Right.
So yeah, so I feel like that's when my voice got taken away from me then at the age of 12.
Okay. So now, how do you feel like that's showing up? How are you
Uh,
experiencing this in your life now?
well, now I feel like I done got better with it. But it was just always, whenever somebody say something or want me to do something, I was always okay, okay. Even though deep down inside I didn't want to do it, or deep down inside I knew some shit, what I'm saying, some stuff wasn't right, and I still just kind of went along with it.
We are friends. And
Mhm.
so I don't always like read into your soul, or I feed you with love and what you need at
Yeah,
the time. You
you
know,
do. I know
you
you
are
do.
constantly energy raped over and over again.
Mhm.
Ever since the first time you were raped, you keep experiencing it. You've never stopped being raped.
Mhm.
Do you understand me?
I understand. Mhm.
Your energy is being raped over and over again. You're being raped in your mind over and over again, and your emotions over and over again. You are still in that moment. So even when people show up to you in certain ways,
Mhm.
you're still in that moment of being violated.
Mhm.
It's like
And
you understand what I'm saying?
yeah, I understand what you're saying. I totally understand. I really do. I totally understand.
That's why you don't have the voice, because you wasn't given it. And so even when they show up to you the way that they've been showing up, they still don't ask you. You know, they just show up and they rape your energy. They tell you, and so it's like,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah. No, I totally understand. And then sometimes I just be feeling like I got control over this. You know what I'm saying? Like I got this, but deep down inside, I guess I just really I'm still struggling with that
you're
and
still
just
trying
don't
to find your
realize.
voice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just speaking of this the other day, is like that's my goal, is to find my voice, is to start standing up for myself, is to start speaking up for myself, like, and stop letting people run over me, if you know what I'm saying.
Mm.
Just like even with the situation, when I was telling you about my mom and everything, like, and to me that was a big thing for me.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
so I feel like I done took my voice back for as, dealing with her, even though I know I still have, what I'm saying, some work to do.
Mm.
I know I still have work to do. Like
But
I get it. I know
you've come far.
it. Mhm.
And
Mhm.
you should be very proud of yourself inside of that.
Mhm. I am. I
Good.
am. I'm not gonna like, and I feel my progress. I feel where I done, you know what I'm saying? Done. I just feel like I feel my progress in that, you know. And then
Yeah.
sometimes I still be my main thing is not following my first mind and always second guessing myself. Always. And I'm trying to get out of that because I
You're
noticed that I do
you're
that.
you're addicted to seeing the kinder side of people and ignoring some other shit.
Why is that?
I'm asking you.
I don't know. Like, no bullshit. Like I really don't know
Okay.
because I've been
I'm about
told
to
that
take
a
you
lot.
back because this still goes all the way back to what I'm saying to you about being raped because
Hmm.
you saw him as a good person because you knew him.
Yeah, because my brother, because I knew of him. I knew my brother and them knew him. Hmm.
Yes. And you thought of him as a good, safe person. And when he showed up to you that way, there was still no repercussions because your parents didn't step in and handle that. And so
Hmm.
even as your child got older, he still was just like able to be whatever he was. You understand me? So
Hmm.
now when you deal with men, you deal with them in that same sense. It's still seeing the negative, but you're giving them the benefit. You're still getting in the car.
Hmm.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what it is. You're too good of a fucking person, Michelle.
Mm. You're
You're
right.
addicted to
And I
that.
know that.
You're
And that's the
addicted
crazy
to
thing.
wanting to be a good person.
Like I'm trying to prove myself, but deep down inside, I'm already knowing that I am, you know what I'm saying? I am that good person. I am that pure hearted person. I am that big
Right.
hearted person. Like, I
So you
am, I
don't have
know
to allow some of the shit you're allowing.
it. Right,
Doesn't make you a bad person.
right.
That makes you look weak and you're not.
You're right.
You're just giving your power over. And it's just time for you to take your power back. Even when you got up from the restaurant and you walked out, that was you
Uh-huh.
taking your power back. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So
Yeah.
it's still a give and take with you. You just still a progress. You're already in the works. You're already in rehab. You understand what I'm saying?
Right,
Um, Somebody keeps sneaking the dope in.
right. Mm.
That's all.
I understand. I most definitely understand it. Because like I
Yes.
said, I see it. I'll be lying to you if I tell you that I didn't recognize some shit. I'll be lying to you if I tell you that I didn't see it. But I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I see it. But just wasn't realizing that being that what happened to me in 97 was still taking effect, you know, now,
Absolutely.
you know, because I feel like, well, I'm doing better and this, and that, but still just not realizing that this is showing up to me this way because of what happened back then.
Yes.
Like much, it's just like having like how I told you with the tug of war in the inside of me.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
like you know right, you know better, you know what you want, you know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
you know who you is, and you know what you want out of life, and you know how you want people to show up to you. You know, like that's how I feel deep down inside in my spirit. But then on the outside, this physical motherfucker, you know, girl, hey, calm down in there. Like we still
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna do this program like this. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna take it baby steps. We're gonna like the inside, my inner spirit want to just bust out, you know, but the physical me just like simmer down, just simmer down. We're gonna do it like
I
this.
feel like also, and it stems some of this, some of the like your business hasn't broken out because like you're holding yourself back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you were holding yourself back because of your friend. Now you hold yourself back because you do stuff for me. That's why I told you I want to pull back on some of what I do because I want you to push your shit to the forefront.
And then I'm not even gonna say that it's the stuff that I do for you, Quatita. It's not like I'm not even gonna lie, like I like it has nothing for me, it has nothing to do with your stuff. It's the simple fact that it's me in my head. It's me in my head feeling like, is they gonna like this? Is this gonna be right?
Rochelle, your shit, I gotta be honest with you. Let me stand in my truth. I be looking at your shit like your shit look better than the shit you do for me, Marshall.
You think so?
I do.
Mm. But see, I
It
don't
look
feel that
good
way.
as fuck.
Look at me, I'm like, I don't be feeling that way. Like I really don't. Like, you know, but that's why I
You
say
need
like
to line your shit up. You're addicted to brokenness and
mm-hmm,
you're not broken. You need to print your shit up. You need to have a rack with your shit so you can see your shit. So now you can be in the elevation of your shit. Have
mm-hmm,
your son redo your website.
mm-hmm.
In his
But like I
mind,
said, I
he
gotta get out my
lingers.
head, Tita. I gotta
Huh?
get out my head. Like that's my thing. I
That's
have to
something
get
that
out
you
my
and he
head.
can do, though.
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
and I said something to him when I told you I had the conversation, you know, with him and
Mhm.
everything, you know. Um I was just like, you know, help me to help us, you know, because just trying to motivate him and inspire him and push him because I know he's smart when it comes to computers and stuff, you know. But yeah, like I said, it's just me. As far as with my business, it's me holding me back. Like it's nothing to do with you and your business. It's not. It's me in my head holding me back. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I be want to perfect it so much to where I guess I have uh that fear of being rejected or told
You
no or
need you
told
need you need a sounding board. Like you need to do something and then ask somebody, what does this look like? How does this
mm-hmm,
look? Because as a person, you will overthink something. Like when you kept saying, Quatita, but you can't see, don't you see on that one shirt? This you can't see this. I had to really look for what the fuck you was talking about.
right,
You can't
right.
be that way because nothing is ever going to be just perfect,
Right.
you know?
That's what I'm saying. And so that's why I say when I say I be in my head or the fear, like I don't know, I just feel like I guess I look at it like if it was me.
You need a
Huh?
sounding board.
Mm.
In music, when they that's why they started having those kind of things. Like when they finish like an EP, they would have
Mm-hmm.
a group of people and they would listen to it, like the listening party, to see what the executives thought
Mm-hmm.
about it. Because
Mm-hmm.
people will do that. You know what I'm saying? You will talk yourself out of something. Instead of talking yourself out of it, you need to talk yourself into it. Get out your head, get a sounding board, show someone your work. First, show it to your baby girl, then send it to me or Aubrey. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And then let me tell you this though, like, cause I have some like say for instance my candles, right? Like I
Mhm.
have put my candles out, but then I have people that tell me like they smell good, I don't want to burn them. But I'm like, it's not it's not doing me no justice. Is that what you mean, like a sounding board, like getting it out there, getting
That's what,
feedback?
yes. That's why when I
Yeah.
send people the products, I say, I need your review. I need you to tell me what
Mm-hmm.
the product is like for you. So whether they want to burn it or not, we need you to burn it because I need you to tell me how fast the wick burns. Does it burn
Mm-hmm.
evenly? Does it leave a lot of soot? Does it smell good even when it burns? Like you need a review board.
Mm-hmm. And so that's what I'm saying. Like I done did that to several people, like, and I don't I don't get no review back just
Because you
because they
don't just
say
stop there. You got to do more. You got to
mm,
go to different people. If you just stop at that, you ain't gonna get nowhere.
you right, you
You
right.
see him, you know how many people actually gave me the review after they didn't got their package? Maybe 4.
Mm-hmm.
We sent out a lot of fucking packages.
You right.
Not many people told me about how they felt like the cards were if they were accurate. Some people did, but not
Mm-hmm.
many. Even though I asked for it, people, you know,
Right.
no,
You right.
you gotta do that.
You right. Cause like I said, I got a box of candles sitting in there now, and I like I said, and I just be in my head about it, and then one side of me just be like, well dang, if you sold this, and this, and you have been made this to put back in this to get more to make this, you know what I'm saying? But I think being that I don't get the reviews back or I don't get the feedback, it make me kind of standoffish. But then I sit up here and I burn some,
People
and I'm like,
also don't know that it exists. So now you have to take advantage of like our friendship, our connection. You do work for me. And so I'll tell people that this is your stuff. But
yeah,
if they're not seeing it, if you don't have an ad, if you don't have promo, if you're not putting it up, it has to be marketed.
you
Then
right,
you'll be able to see what people, you know what I mean? Because then people be like, let me order that. Because when people do see your shit, they do order.
yeah, you right.
So it's about you got to get out of your head.
I gotta
Get
get out of my head, and I gotta get out of that fear of being turned down. Like, you know what I'm saying? I gotta
But
get
that's the
out of it.
thing. Only like how they gonna turn it down, Marshall? They ordering
But
from
no,
you.
I'm just saying, like, not even like I guess it just stems way back further than it goes from my products. You understand what I'm saying? When I say about being turned down or let down and shit like that, like it goes back further than that. And I realize that I still carry that. And that's why I'm sitting on the shit that I'm sitting on. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like I get
Exactly.
it. I most definitely get it. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, that's just me. I can take accountability. Like that's just me being in my head about it. Like
Yes.
it's nothing about me doing work for you. Like I enjoy doing that as well. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just me being in my head when it comes to my stuff. you know, and even like, because I just want to make sure the shit is right, just like I be want to make sure your stuff is right too, you know, like I just want to make sure it's right. And I
But
guess that, and I
it
guess
is
that
gonna
was
be
still
right.
back from huh?
It is gonna be right.
And I guess and I guess that always stem back to now that I think about it, like my childhood too, because of not, you know, not being able to get shit right or do shit right. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now that I'm thinking about it, you know what I'm saying? And then and it's like, damn, I be calling myself, be trying to cut this childhood shit off, and I be talking about the shit and thinking I'm moving on. But now that I think about it, it just stems back from not feeling good enough or being good enough as a child to where now when I got my stuff and doing your stuff, and it's just like, okay, I just want everything to be boom, 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 boom. I don't want nobody to, you know, I don't want to be turned down.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't like, I guess I don't like rejection.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just say that I don't like rejection. So that puts that, so that
Right.
will put the fear there with me of being
Yes.
rejected or turned down when it come to my stuff. Let me just say that. Yep.
Yes. So
When it
what
comes
happens if it doesn't? You don't know because you won't get there yet.
mm-hmm.
So
That's
what
true.
happens if it doesn't get turned down? What happens if it accelerates?
Mm-hmm. Because
You
I
have to
wanted to
know it.
accelerate.
You're gonna have to really step outside of your mind and
Mm-hmm.
just put it out there, and whatever it is, Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
Because what happens if it excels?
Right. And I'm not gonna lie, like deep down inside, I feel like that's what I'm saying. Like it's a mind thing. Like, because deep down inside, I feel like it would. You know, deep down inside, I would love to see my stuff on shelves and stuff because I know that my stuff smells good. Like even if it's not even just my candles, my sprays, my roll on, like I know it smells good. I'm not even gonna give it to you if it didn't, you know?
Yes.
So but like I said, it's just that mind shit. I just gotta get out of that. And I guess that plays a part in second guessing myself. You know what I'm saying? Not, you know, following through with what I know what it is. But now I'm second guessing that first thought I had and just like, damn, well, mm,
No,
type
you just gotta let go of these addictive thoughts and put it
mhm,
up for adoption so you can move in the direction in which you should be moving.
mhm.
And stop talking yourself out of the shit, you know. And that's gonna be your best bet to
How
let
do I
go
stop
of.
talking myself out of it? Like, how do, like, every time I feel like I'm overcoming
'Cause
that,
when you know, it's about when you hear that and when you're putting that and you hear that thought, you have to immediately reverse that. No, 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 no. People are gonna love it. I don't give a fuck if your hands is trembling when you hit the send in the post your shit. If your hands is trembling, that's great. Let them tremble because it's after that that you can breathe. Where people be like, "Damn, that's nice. How can I order that?" So
mm-hmm,
it's just about taking the step and letting the thought pass and say, "No, that's not my thought. E for me."
mm-hmm,
You let it pass and you still progress. You don't stop the progress. You don't stop, not do it. You push yourself into doing it.
you're right. Yeah, you're right. Here I am thinking, I still got a lot of more work to do. Still got a lot of more work to do, you know, with self, you know.
Yeah, me too.
That's what
Me
I
too.
was just saying a while ago. I was fit to get up and go in here and work on the computer now, you know, to make sure I had some things printed out and together and everything. Like I can be working on two things at one time. You know what I'm saying? Like my mind will be everywhere. Like I can be working on two things at one time. I can be putting something together for you and putting something together for a customer or you know what I'm saying? Or either for myself or something like that. Like I be doing a lot at one time when I should just be doing like one thing at a time. but I
Yes,
be do like two things at one time, thinking I'm gonna get done faster, thinking I'm gonna make a big progress. You know what I'm saying? And don't.
I do.
so,
I do. I do. I so
so
get it.
yeah, so that's
Because
where
I
I'm
was
at.
supposed to be cleaning up, and I was just gonna do this for like a quick hour. It's been almost 4 hours,
Mhm.
and I was supposed to clean up. So I thought
Mhm.
I was just gonna do something real quick. Yeah. And it wasn't.
Right. And that's how I be. Or either my ass will be asleep or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's my downfall too. I get so sleepy, like I can sit at the computer and that air start hitting me and shit, and before you know it, I done dozed the fuck off. And I be like, well,
Absolutely.
let me get them go get in the bed, get up on some cover, cause my body says sleep right now. But yeah, so most definitely like, and I don't want you to think that your work is me working for you and doing your things for you is hindering me on my end, because it's really not. It's me that's hindering me. Like I can take full accountability for that. It's really me hindering me, and I know it's me hindering me. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like it's just me. The reason why my stuff ain't moved the way it moved. Like I know I need to advertise more and everything like that. Like I get it, but like I said, it's just I gotta overcome that fear. So I'm really defeating myself. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like I'm really battling myself and defeating myself, and it's like, what the fuck? How can you be the same person and you defeating yourself? Like this
Mm-hmm.
shit is crazy. But yeah, so I can take accountability for that. I can. And that's just what it is. It's just me in my head about this shit.
And it's gonna work out. It's gonna be all right.
I feel like it is.
Mm-hmm.
On the side, I really do. I feel like it is. Like I haven't felt nothing. I haven't felt like, and I be feeling shit. Like, so I haven't felt no failure coming from me or nothing like that. I just always feel like you in your motherfucking head. Like you let yourself talk you out of shit, or you let yourself stop you um from doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's what that is. And I get it. I most definitely get it. So yeah.
Gratitude, Marshall.
Well, gratitude for having me up, Petita.
Yes, gratitude.
Definitely. All right, well, I shall talk to you later then.
All right, love you to life.
Bye, you too.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, so listen, we have 3 people backstage. I've been almost 4.5 hours. My ass is hurting on this chair. I'm gonna bring one more person up because I gotta go to bed. I gotta get up. Um, Rakita, I've been calling you up here for a minute. I don't know what took you so long to get up here. Hold on. What then took you so long to get up here?
I'm sorry, my phone died. Can you hear me? My
Yes.
phone died, yeah. So I'm just like, that was my luck, I felt like. But I was still watching you on the TV, and I was like, no, my phone, I gotta wait for it to hurry up and come back on.
So yours is different. Yours is an addiction of some other stuff. So let's talk about it because you sent me a message.
Yes. Yes. So I it's been like 10 years off and on, I want to say, and I feel like as far as I think it lasts that long just because of the fact that I'm so easy to be triggered, and like I'm a very emotional person, so it's just like I feel like that's my escape to where as though it's easier for me not to, like, it helps to where as though if something bothers me or if somebody hurts my feelings or something like that, it's just like I'm numb to it. So it's just like it's easy to suppress things and I don't have to worry about feeling it because it's just like it just makes me not care.
What's the addiction?
Pills.
Pills.
Yeah.
So what is it, the feeling that you get when you take it?
I just feel like, I just become numb. Like I don't got to worry about being in any kind of pain. It's like I realize that it's, as long as it's something that I can control, like a pain that I can control, because before that it was, when I was young, I did self-harm just because of the fact that I didn't like getting my feelings hurt. So it was just like, it was something that I can deflect and put
So
that
of
pain.
what, like cutting?
Yeah, because I felt like it was just something for me to control, because I feel like, it's a control issue. But, once I got to where as though it was the pills, then first it became dependency just because it helped me get through work, helping me with, getting through the day. And then it just became to where as though when things started, going wrong and going bad and, shit like that, it was just like, oh, like it really ain't affect me, or oh, let me just take something and I ain't got to worry about this right now. But I suppressed so much to where as though even things from like childhood trauma and stuff like that, to where as though now it's like I'm scared to almost be sober, because it's like I'm working on that now with trying to stay sober. But it's just that I realize a lot of things are coming to surface, and it's just like dealing with things that I try to suppress for years, that is just like, now it's like, oh, I forgot about that, and now it's just like going through those emotions.
Can I tell you something? I'm gonna tell it to you, and I'm gonna tell it to a few other people that's on here. Sometimes you get addicted to the process of getting the pills, the
Yeah,
weed. You can get addicted to that, the process of it. The camaraderie with the weed man or the pill man, like you get addicted to different shit. You miss that process.
yeah. And that's what it is, because it's like, it's something that is a part of my day, my everyday. So it's just like, I feel like whenever I'm not getting up and going, to go make that commute, then I feel like my day is disrupted, and I don't know, now I feel like my days seem longer and I don't know what to do with myself, even though I'm getting other stuff done. It's like, now that's my focal point of, now that's all I'm thinking about.
So where's the bad signals coming from?
I feel like, because it's like, as far as like with the triggers, because like it started with my mom giving me pills before. That's how I even started with anything, because my mom was a nurse and she used to bring, stuff home. So it was like I didn't even have to worry about going out buying pills or getting my own prescription and stuff. And my mom dealt with alcoholism, and I found out not too long ago that she dealt with, issue with pills too, because she worked a lot. So she took speed pills to stay up, to keep working and everything like that. But it's just like, I felt like it was an enablement from her end, because I feel like it was kind of I have somebody that's just like me, and it's like she felt like that's where she was useful at. So it's just like, now it's just like, on a note, I don't know how, because is I don't want this to be a everyday thing no more. Like I want to stop, but it's just like, whenever I try to, or something like that, it's like I'm easy to be triggered, or something go wrong, then I'm like right back to having that feeling that I don't want to go through that, or it's the, I don't know how I'm going to function, or how I could get through the day without taking anything, or with being sober or whatever, because I don't know what it feels like, because it's been so long. So it's something that's abnormal to me. So it's like, I'm scared. I ain't gonna lie.
So, okay, let's go into this because what about the conversations that you have with yourself once you get the pills and you're talking to yourself about why did you do it, and the whole conversation about stopping, and then you can't remember what you used to do before you started the pills. Like it's a whole circle of conversation that you go into, right?
Yeah, I do, because I'll be like, I'll stop tomorrow, or oh, it's the weekend. Like, I'll just get through the weekend and start the week off fresh, or it'd be like, oh well, I already slipped up today, so I'll try again tomorrow, or it's the end of the month, I'll do it in the beginning of the month, like stuff like that. Like, I keep like trying to psych myself out, even though I know come tomorrow when I'll be like, all right, I'm not going to buy nothing today for tomorrow. Then I know, when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, shit, I should have just got it yesterday
Yep.
because I was going to
Yes.
feel like this today.
Yes. Why do you feel like you need them?
At this point, I feel like I make excuses on like the aches and pains and getting through the day and not being able to deal with, my back, because I got scoliosis and arthritis and everything like that. And then it goes from that to I don't like how I am when I don't have it, because it's just like my mood swings and going through, trying to go through withdrawal. I feel like that it's not fair to everybody around me for me to be bitchy and snappy. And I feel like I have to be by myself. But since I can't be by myself right now, I feel like it's me doing it for me, but also so that way I'm not hurting nobody around me and being me.
So how long has it been? Like, are you still like, have you taken them? Like, where are you at in the process?
I slowed down a lot, so I just transitioned over to like, because I find myself taking like probably like one or two throughout the day, but I transitioned over to something that's supposed to be with methadone, something that's supposed to be helping me get off to where as though I'm not taking something continuously throughout the day, and something that's going
So
to
what do you
help
take?
me.
Oxycodone?
Yes.
There's another factor here, and you shocked me when you put it in your message, because I had no idea, and I know I read for you a few times, but so there's another factor. We don't even have to discuss it. You understand what the factor is.
Yeah.
But we have to look at that, and we have to think about that. And if that's the
And
only,
that's what. I don't know if that's my reception.
that's okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Yeah. So I try to and I try to take that into consideration. Then I just be like, oh, is it too late to stop? Like, or should I just wean myself? Like, what's the best thing to do? And then it's just like, this isn't the first time going through this situation, and I know the outcome, and I feel like being the fact that the outcome wasn't that bad, it was a hindrance. It was like a headache, but it was still like on a note, I still got through it and it was still okay. But it was just like, I don't want to go through that again, this time around. But it's just like, now I'm to the point to where as though, or if I stop now, is it too late? Or, should I just wait? Or so it's just like me being back and forth in my head with those things.
So maybe we could just consider the fact that some things could be very traumatic. Some things could be death, and we have to think about where we would be in that,
Right.
and giving a fair chance to all things. You
Right.
understand me? And
Right.
so let's what if we can try not looking at it as stopping period. Can we look at it and see what we can do for 24 hours, and then maybe let's go into 48 hours and give it a really good try, so we can at least get to 72 hours, because cleaning the system for 3 days is helpful.
Okay.
You can kick a lot of things in 3 days, but I don't want you to even think 3 days. I want you to think just 24 hours.
Right. And that's where I get discouraged at when because my husband, he works for the jail, so like we were literally just talking about that tonight because he has to, you know, see people go through the detox and stuff. So I asked him questions about that, like how long, and like he tries to amp me up, like you can do it, is just stop being scared, just do it, stop looking at the time frame and just do it. But he doesn't want to push me either because he's just like, he wants to be as supportive as possible, so he's trying to be understanding on both ends, but at the same time he's just like, all right, now, like, that's it, like I gotta put my foot down, like enough is enough.
Because you're also dealing with,
Yeah.
And he has love.
Yeah.
You're damaging and harming something
Yeah.
that he has stock in. It's not just you. You
Right.
have to try. You got to give it, like, you're going to cry and you're going to be okay, and you're going to cry and you're probably going to have to poop and you're going to cry some more. Go lay down and cry.
Right. And that's where I have to realize that it's okay to, just
Yeah.
because I'm so used to feeling like, like it's not okay, or it's like a weakness or bottom.
It's no longer about you, you know?
Yeah.
That's all. And, it's doable. You can do it. You can get through it, but it's the anticipation that fucks with the mind,
Yep.
So I would just say, let's try 24 hours.
Okay.
Then we'll try the next day to 48. Give yourself 24 hours. I don't care if you have to stay in the bed.
Right.
You gonna think about shit. You gonna cry about it. But that's what it has to be.
Yeah.
You cry now or you cry later, Rakita.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep. You're right. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Put that shit up for adoption.
Absolutely. I was thinking about starting a journal like day one and going through, so that way, come time that I go to look back at things and be like, damn, like I definitely overcame this, and then knowing the process and being able, that it might be able to be useful for somebody else just because of how curious I am about the process. Is just the fact of just going through the process.
Yes. Yes.
But I'm gonna do it.
It's
Just like
doable.
I messaged you earlier. Like because I want to do it. It's not like I'm being forced to. I want to do it. It's just the mental aspect, getting out of my own head now.
And that's why I say you're gonna cry. I know that already. You're going to cry, but cry. You understand? Just cry. Stay in the bed. That's gonna be your best option.
I will. I'm going to have
to. If you work, call off for 3 days. You have to.
Right. I will.
And cry as long as you need to, and then shit, because you're gonna have to.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Just from
gratitude for being so brave, because you're brave and you can do it.
I show gratitude for being the ear. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I'll keep you posted.
I was gonna say, please do. Okay.
I definitely will. I love you.
I love you too.
All right.
All right, please. Gratitude to everybody that came up and was so brave as to speak your truth. Please know how doable putting this shit up for adoption is. It doesn't belong to you. You've just adopted it. It's not even fully who you are. It is what you have adopted inside of self that you keep telling yourself that this is who you are. These are actions, and actions sometimes have a reaction, but you can also stop the act itself. It's not always easy. Get into the group meets that we have. Go to my different platforms. Hit that QR code. Join these groups because you need the support. You can talk about it in a judge-free zone with other people who understands, okay? I show love to Miss Trina White and Jose that I did not get to. I am so sorry. I got to get up off this chair. I am in so much pain sitting here. I show gratitude and love to everyone. Peace and blessings. Blissful, blissful, blissful. Gratitude, y'all.